And so there's Iranians that support Israel. So my question to you is, do you believe that Israel as a government or Netanyahu's government have a positive opinion about the overall development or like state of Iran, regardless of the Islamic regime? Like, let's say, like the Islamic regime is gone, or the Islamic regime somehow got abolished. Do you think that Israel have a positive kind of positive view of the state? You don't think like Israel's for example, when Israel attacks like Iran, right? They're not technically attacking quote unquote the regime, they're attacking the state facilities. So my opinion is Israel doesn't care whether Iran is Islamic or not. I think Israel doesn't want to see a regional power that can that can challenge its its authority, because again, like that would be like contestant, like a regional contestant. So
So,
do you think do you think that's right, or do you think that's a wrong
so
view?
your your
Like, what's
you
your opinion on that?
your claim is that you think that Israel is not just against the Islamic Republic, but Israel is also against Iran as a whole, because Israel wouldn't want to see a strong Iran, because a strong Iran would be competing against Israel in the region. That's what you're suggesting. Did
Yeah,
I understand
especially
you
in
correct?
regards with yeah, especially in regards with the nuclear, having a nuclear weapon.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know if a secular Iran, if a secular democratic Iran would even want a nuclear weapon, but the way that in modern times, right, the way that power and economic progress and development works, it's not a zero sum game, right? So, the way that you're looking at the world and politics and trade and everything else competitively, it's called mercantilism, as if it's a zero sum game. Like if I gain, you lose, right? But if you look at how the trade and the economy and everything else actually works, and this is something that Israelis and most other advanced countries understand, is that you don't you actually benefit from having a strong ally in the region. You don't. It's not a. It would only be a competition if it was, uh, win lose, but it's a win win game, right? So if you, especially when your interests align, especially when your values are aligned, a secular democratic Iran would be against the spread of jihadism in the region, right? So the stronger Iran becomes, the more Israel will benefit, because it would have a uniting force within the region to be fighting jihadist elements in the region. The more economically developed Iran becomes, the more these two countries would trade with each other, invest in each other, exchange tourists with each other. So, and also, even if there is a competition, it's a friendly competition that makes both of them grow faster. So, competition in the modern sense, in the modern world, it's not in the sense that I win, you lose. Is that I'm trying to, you know, uh, grow faster than you, okay, and you're trying to grow faster than me, but my growth doesn't come at the cost of your growth. Even if I'm trying to grow faster than you, if I am successful in growing faster than you, it actually drags you up with me, right? So, for example, if you look at right now, even China and United States are seen as, so many people consider China and United States to be considered enemies right now, right? But even China and United States, their economy is so intertwined that it it doesn't help the United States for the Chinese economy to crash. It's in the benefit of United States for Chinese economy to grow, and it's also in the benefit of China for US's economy to grow. And they're not even in the same, mostly not in the same region. So obviously, if you have two secular democratic countries in the Middle East, it benefits both of them if the other side grows as fast as possible, because they're allies and they're helping each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Yeah. And also, just to add to that, um, Iranian people and Israeli people are rediscovering their ancient ties with each other, right? And that has a lot of emotional impact on people, because we have like ancient emotional ties with each other that are pre-Islamic. And also, given that we hate the same things, that also has a huge emotional impact between the people, and beyond the politicians, because I mean, Israel is a democracy, so the views of the people impacts the views of the position of the politicians, right? So even if you just forget about the politicians for 1 second, the Iranian people and the Israeli people are becoming closer and closer to each other. Obviously, that doesn't have an impact on our politicians as the Iranians, because Iran is not democratic right now, but it has a huge impact on. Dove, can you mute yourself for a second? I'll let you speak right after this because I hear some buzzing noise. Okay, but it has a huge impact in Israel because Israel is a democratic nation. But given how much the Iranian people and Israeli people hate jihadism and the Islamic Republic and Hezbollah and Hamas and Hashd Shabi and Kataib Hezbollah and Houthis and all of these other proxies of the Islamic Republic, that brings us so close to each other because we're fighting against the same people, and that bond, the stronger it gets. And by the way, that's going to continue to some extent after the fall of the Islamic Republic, because even though most of these will be gone, most of their fundings and their training will be gone, at the end of the day we'll still have Islamic terrorism in the Middle East. And it makes sense and given that how much Iranian people hate that and how much Israeli people hate that, that will keep us close to with each other. And I can imagine a world where the Iran's intelligence agency, which I think is going to be called Savam, is going to be working with Mossad. And also there are going to be some joint operations to maybe neutralize some terroristic elements in the Middle East. So I think like there's a lot that we could be working with each other on that. Yeah. All right. So let me see what Dove has to say. Dove, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that even till 1979, before the Islamic Revolution, there was a very extensive ties between Iranians and Israelis. Lots of Israelis were in Iran. There is still some companies pipeline for oil that is still partnership between the government of Iran and the government of Israel. And even we had one singer, you should look them up. His name is Mike Brandt. He used to perform in the Iranian clubs in the 70s, and he became like a world famous French singing person. And there's a lot of Iranians living in Israel. There's a lot of Iranians that are living in Israel that are visiting secretly their families in Iran. And just for, route touring, secretly route touring in Iran. So the Iranian people and the Israeli people are very similar, are very harmonic together. Just they have to stop wanting to destroy Israel, and things can go back to before 1979. And there is still a lot of technologies that was sold from Israel to Iran that is still operating in Iran today.
Are you Iranian yourself?
I am Israeli.
Oh, you're Israeli. Okay.
I am Israeli, and my father used to work in Iran.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a contractor. Israelis built many things in Iran.
Oh,
The
wow.
commercial ties between Israel and Iran before 1979, militarily and oil and development together until 1979 was very, very extensive.
Yeah. Do you
and
think
it will
we
be
could
the
go
same.
back?
Yeah,
You think it'll be the same? You think we're gonna go back to that?
yeah. I
Yeah.
hope it will happen fast before Iranians start to be very thirsty, because all the problems that they have, if they just cooperate with the world, is solvable. Humanity, you shouldn't have no thirst and no hunger and no lack of medicine, and it will happen as soon as they open themselves up.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I hope that's true. Let me see
Yeah,
if
we
Doctor
feel
Bag. Yeah, go on.
the one thing we feel that those people in Iran are hijacked by this regime, and it's a
Right.
pity that this regime doesn't understand to modernize itself. Like in the Israeli Bible, there's a lot of things that are unacceptable today, and nobody does that. And so okay, Islam is this way, written this way. So okay, it's maybe written for a different time, but we are living in a modern world, and if you really seek peace, you will find it.
Do you? I'm gonna come back to you. Let me just see because Doctor like I don't know how to pronounce your name. Can you open your mic because you've been asking you to become a speaker, but you don't open your mic. Open your mic. Say something. Okay, you're not saying. You're not gonna say anything. Dove, I have a question. Are you in Israel right now?
I think he has a of he,
Hmm.
she has a connection problem because she want to speak of he I don't know. Yes, look, and because of connection problem, she can
Hmm.
speak.
So I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know if I
Sorry.
can help you. Yeah, sorry. So let me just go back to Dove then for a second. Dove, you said you're in Israel right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you can you paint me a picture? In what are the views of people in Israel regarding Iranians?
The most positive, because the biggest stars and influencers and politicians and their origin is from Iran, and we live this culture in Israel. The food and the movies and everything. So for us, it will be, for Israelis, will be very simple to embrace, accept, and even visit Iran as soon as they, say, okay, let's stop trying to annihilate the Israeli state. That's it.
Yeah. Um where if we Iran and Israel become friends again and we our countries become united and we go
Yeah.
back to having those relationships again, would you come to Iran?
Of course, for me,
Huh.
even though I'm not LGBTQ plus whatever, you know, I
Right?
follow a simple rule. How states treat their women, and how states treat their LGBTQ. When it's balanced and fair, so it's a safe place to be. It's a
Oh,
safe
you
place.
forgot the Jews. How the
Uh,
state treats.
no,
Yes.
this is goes without saying, of course.
Yeah.
You know what is
The
the one
Jews
or
the Jews
nine
are the
club?
first the Jews are the first to go usually. They're the canary in the mine.
Listen, the Iranians still keep archaeological sites where Mordechai is buried. You know who was Mordechai and Esther?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
So
I don't know if I don't think that story is real though, but okay.
what do you mean the story? The
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 Esther story?
the biblical story, Esther, that there was a guy named Haman, and there was a king named Achashverosh. In Hebrew,
Well,
it's
I mean,
Achashverosh.
I'm an atheist, so I think like so I
No, but
don't.
this is
Well,
the
yeah,
Bible is
that
confusing. You know why it's confusing?
No,
Because
why?
there's
we
some,
are both. I am atheist too, and because
yeah,
of that, I
me
don't
too.
believe in any
As
of
a
these
Jew,
books.
as a
Yeah,
Jew, I
I know.
take God out of the equation and I look for the history. The special thing about the Bible is that there is a lot of archaeological evidence that support stories from the Bible and even stories from the Quran. Let's say the problem is that they mix God and they confuse everybody. You have to take God
But
out.
I think the Esther story is just that's just part of a fictional story. I think.
Well, if you like me to explore, and I'm not sure.
Mm.
Also, I can tell you, I'm not sure. Also, okay,
It's a beautiful story, though. I'm not
but
going to deny that.
if I was Orthodox Jew, I would be able to talk to you about this very elaborately, and I know stories from the Bible, that earliest stories from the Bible, because this story about Esther is one of the latest stories. Okay, it's a very very late story that is in the Bible. It's a story that the subtext is about God, but the story, it's like factional, it's facts. It's one more time that the Jews were almost annihilated, and somehow they were saved from annihilation. In this story, it's
Yeah.
reversed even. So, but
Yeah.
King
So,
David, you believe that King David was alive?
yeah, King David it seems to be real. But make your last point, because Daniel just raised it. And also, Mr. Hader, if you want to speak, please raise your hand as well, because I want to see if I'm interested in what you have to say as well. So, Dove, make your last point, and then we go to Daniel. And I see also Mr. Hader, he also
No,
raised his
please.
hand. So after that, yeah, go on.
Thank you, and I'm
Mm.
here listening. If you have questions, thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here.
I
Okay,
appreciate
so
this group.
oh wow, thank you. That's sweet. Okay, so Daniel, did you have something to say? I see you raise your hand, and then after that, I saw Mr. Hader raise his hand. Daniel, Daniel. Oh, Daniel just turned into a listener.
Yes, it
Okay, let's
dropped.
go.
Dropped.
He dropped. Okay, 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 Mr. Hader, glad to have you here as well.
Thanks, Armin John. Thank you very much. I do appreciate for having me. Actually, so of course you guys know me, but to introduce myself, to others who might not know me. So I'm an Iranian, um, someone who has lived under the regime, which is Islamic regime, ideology regime built on lies, hate, fear, fear. I repeat, fear. For 47 years, Islamic regime, was built essentially prior to 1979 on the essence of opposing Israel. Many might not know, but Khomeini, even way before, decades before, they were successful to occupy Iran. Their one of the issues they took with the king of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, was that they were upset with him. They were angry at him. Why the king was friendly to Israel? So, so as soon as they took power, death to Israel was used not even as ideology, but beyond that, as a tool to control Iranian people and misled the citizens of the other countries and align themselves with the leftists across the globe who were against Israel and on the side of, the enemies of Israel. So why did they do this? In my opinion, they did it to cover up. Some people might disagree with me, so please be patient with me. In my opinion, they did it mainly because they wanted to cover up their own corruption, violence, failure. I mean, Hannah Arendt has talked about this, how they build an enemy. So, really, Iranian people from the very beginning had nothing against Israel. So, every time, we heard, or Iranians still hear, the chant against Israel, or a slogan, if it might be better word, against Israel. They're actually recognizing that this is not something attached to them. It has been not something attached to them. So the regime is imposing or trying to propose these slogans against Israel as a face or as a representative of Iran, which has never been. So I personally support Israel because I'm against everything that this specific regime, Islamic Republic regime, stands for. So supporting Israel for me isn't only about politics. Is also, I mean, I know people might disagree, but it's about values. We have similar values. I mean, we as Iranian who are against the Islamic Republic regime, we have similar values to what the today Israel, um, it is about. So it's about choosing knowledge over, how should I say, ignorance, ideology called ignorance, freedom over, and freedom and democracy against, suppression and fascism and fanaticism. I mean, last word, if I may say, Armin, John, is that I just want our friends in Israel, I don't want to get involved into their politics, but I want them to know that I am one of the very many Iranians inside and outside Iran who consider and look at the I mean, many Iranians like me, they see Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu the way that the word saw Winston Churchill back in Second World War. Not because we think he is perfect, don't get me wrong, but because what he represents, or how should I say, the characteristic that he's showing, courage under pressure, I don't know, clarity in strategy. He doesn't I'm sorry, he doesn't go around the bush, basically, as Americans say. I'm sorry. Thanks for the time.
No, that was great. Thank you. I see Piruz. So we see most Iranians here support Israel. However, Piruz, who seems to be an Iranian that was born outside of Iran or something, I'm not sure, but he seems to be not pro-Israel. Piruz, so I know you speak a bit Persian, but are you Iranian? Are you? And thank you, by the way. Thank you so much, Mr. Haydari. That was great. People on YouTube, the chat, they loved you. By the way, I just want to let you know that. But Piruz, can you let me know? Are you Iranian?
Yeah, thanks a lot for that, Armin. Yeah, I'm Iranian. I'm اینجا بزرگ شدم, so my Farsi is a bit rubbish.
Right. So this is English now. So you're Iranian, but you were you born in Iran?
Yeah, but I left when I was 2 years old. So I lived most of my life in London.
London. Okay. So go ahead. So it's interesting because the Iranians who lived most of their lives in Iran, and the Iranians who are in Iran, support Israel mostly, it seems. But you, as an Iranian who lived in an Iranian who lived in London most of your life, you don't support Israel. So that's interesting. Let me know why.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, just because I don't support Israel doesn't mean I'm 100% pro-Islamic Republic. That's not the case. I see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% pro-IR or pro-IRGC or pro-Islamic Republic. But the point is, look, for those Iranians who support Israel, I just want to introduce some nuances. Yeah, do you really think Israel cares about human rights or Iranians having freedom or whatever? You do understand that geopolitics doesn't work that way. If there's something Israel doesn't like about Iran, its capability, its influence, it's because they're able to challenge Israel. It's got nothing to do with Iranians. I mean, for God's sake, Armin, nothing says democracy like
Armin,
a royal
may I
decree.
say something?
No, let him finish. Let him finish his thoughts first. Yeah, go on, Piruz.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that.
And then
again, I fully understand.
And then we go to Mary after that.
Okay. Again, I fully understand. There's loads of reasons for Iranians to hate the Iranian government. And there are so many things I hate about the Iranian government. But, you know, when the country is being attacked by a foreign, well, not an invader, but a foreign adversary, it makes more sense to ask ourselves the question, well, what is it they don't like about the establishment? Is it human rights record? Is it like internal conduct? Or is it something else? Yeah, I just think it makes more sense to focus on that. I don't think the US or Israel care about human rights. Israel's been committing genocide. I know that word doesn't bind well with most of you guys, but I still think it's a fact because it's more. There's more or less consensus now. They're invading most of the. Just give me a second. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. They're invading all of their neighbors. They're bombing at will. Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, all these different places. And for some reason, their security seems to be premised on the notion that all of their neighbors need to be failed states without armies and without capability, divided. Again, it makes sense to ask ourselves a question. Is this not what they want for Iran, to basically balkanize Iran? They said as much. And by the way, during the 12-day war, what happened? So this guy, the defense minister, Israel's defense minister, or Israel's war minister, literally used the phrase, the residents of Tehran will pay. He didn't say Ali Khamenei will pay. He didn't say the regime will pay. He said the residents of Tehran will pay. That those are his words. This is the language he uses. He doesn't hide it. Why do we have to whitewash someone else's crime when they're too lazy to actually hide it themselves? Do you see what I mean? Again, I want to emphasize, there's a lot of bad things about the Iranian government, but as Iranians, it makes more sense to ask ourselves a question. Is this really what they hate about the Iranian establishment? Isn't human rights and all that stuff, internal policy? Or is it just the fact that they're a threat to them being the hegemon of the region? It makes more sense to ask ourselves that question. And by the way, one last point though, just give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm a bit sick.
Me too.
Yeah, what was I going to say? One last point. I forgot what I was going to say. All right,
That's okay.
I'll let you guys respond.
Just if it comes back to you, let us know. Just keep it in mind. Let me, Mary, and then Cheyenne wants to respond to you. So Mary, go ahead and so by the way, for the people on YouTube who are watching, Mary is also an Iranian and Cheyenne is also an Iranian. And so Mary wants to respond, and then Cheyenne wants to respond. And then I think who else?
Can I say it in Farsi because he's Iranian and it's interesting.
Because
I'm streaming. It's okay. Sorry.
English because I'm streaming on my English channel right now. That's
yes,
fine.
I understand.
Okay.
You said things, and I think you born in Iran, but you didn't feel the pain of us. You don't feel the pain. Because of that, you don't understand why we support Israel. You don't feel all of our money, all of our what's from our land is going to terrorists because of IRGC, because of Islamic Republic. They don't think of men, women, children, or Iran. And Israel doesn't look. I can't say it because it's really difficult to explain it.
No, I understand. I understand, but I do want to say I've got family members who were shot by the regime, so I fully understand your pain. I can feel it. Trust me.
If you feel the pain, you have to know why we want Israel do that. And you said Israel attacked Iran. Israel didn't attack Iran. Israel attacked people. Yes, because you don't know and you don't come from Iran. You have a family, but you don't feel or pain, and because of that, you laugh at that. I can't explain in English because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to come here. I wasn't ready. It's just happened. But next time, I am fully ready to answer your answers, people as you, because You say you are Iranian, but you don't you don't have a feeling for Iranian people and Iran.
Right. So what's that got to do with the war, by the way? That's the part I fail to understand. I mean, the Iranian government is bad. Okay, but what's that got to do with
let me
war?
try it. Mary, I will try
What
to.
do you mean bad? It's evil. What do you mean bad? It's not bad. It's
اگه من
evil.
اگه من یه لحظه اینو به فارسی بگم خودتون ترجمهش کنین خیلی خوبه.
Okay, tell me in Persian and I will repeat it in English. Then tell me in Persian.
تو اصلا درد مردم ایران واقعا درک نمی کنی. 47 سال کشور ما اشغال شده، بعد همه این سرکوبگرا بچه های ایران رو کشتن. همه کسانی که اسرائیل کشتشون همه کسانی بودن که بچه های ایران رو سالها که می اومدن توی خیابون نابود می کردن، می کشتن. بچه های از سن کم تا سن بالا توی زندان شکنجه می شدن. اینها هیچ کدوم از اینا از چشم شما همش دور نمونده. اسرائیل به ایران حمله نکرد، اسرائیل به جمهوری اسلامی حمله کرد. چرا؟ چون جمهوری اسلامی تروریست رو توی منطقه حمایت میکنه، چون جمهوری اسلامی نیابتیاشو همه جای منطقه حمایت میکنه، چون اسرائیل از پول بچه های ایران 7 اکتبر رو انداخت.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Wait,
کرد تو اسرائیل.
Let me. Okay, don't make it longer because it's going to be hard for me to remember all of it and translate it. Okay.
No, I understood that. I understood that, Armin.
Let me translate it for my audience, and then you could respond to it. Okay. So what Mary just said, that you don't understand the pain of the Iranian people. When Israel attacked during the 12-day war, it wasn't attacking Iran, it was attacking the Islamic Republic. The people that Israel killed during the 12-day war were the murderers of the Iranian people. The young women and children, women and children that were killed by the hands of the people that Israel killed during the 12-day war. So Israel killed our murderers. And also she also emphasized that Israel came and did this war because the Islamic Republic has took our resources and our wealth of the Iranian people to spend it on terrorism around the region, on proxies that threaten Israel. So of course Israel will come and try to eliminate the threat. So it makes sense for Israel to come and try to remove the threat that has been funded by stealing the wealth of the Iranian people. And it also makes sense for Iranian people to celebrate all of this because Israel is killing the murderers of Iranian people. So Piruz, respond to that.
Yeah,
that was very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of my earlier point I was trying to make. Look, I think most Iranians who happen to hate the Iranian government also develop this love for Israel because they simply don't understand Israeli policy, Israeli foreign policy, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. To them, it's just as simple as it follows. The Israelis hate the Iranian government, therefore they must be good. This is not how it goes. And by the way, 900 Iranian civilians were killed by these strikes. I know Iran killed some Israeli civilians as well, but that's just retaliation. And by the way, didn't this war happen in the middle of negotiations?
Seriously, what you say? Why aren't you speaking about what Area GC did at 1401 in Iran or in 1096 و 98 در ایران، اعدام‌های سال 60 در ایران، هر کاری که جمهوری اسلامی کرده برای مردم ایران شما هیچ کدومو ندیدید، ولی اسرائیل که حمایت کرده شما دیدید.
Okay, Mary, let me translate what Mary just said. Mary just listed a whole bunch of crimes with the Islamic Republic, and she's asking Piruz why Piruz is not listing, why is he not talking about all of these crimes? Why do you only just focus on Israel? So go ahead, Piruz. And I also have a response to you myself.
No, I fully agree. They've done a lot of horrible, bad stuff. I'm not disputing that. All I'm saying is that's not the reason Israel hates them. It's got nothing to do with that. That's all I'm saying. So it doesn't make sense to talk up a foreign invader just because we hate the government. This is not how it goes. Again, we need to learn lessons from Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Obviously, the regime's done loads of horrible stuff. They've killed loads of Iranians. They put down protests and done all sorts of horrible stuff. But this has got nothing to do with the US and Israel and why they hate the regime. This is not how it goes. That's what I'm trying to explain.
Okay, so let me, before I bring Cheyenne up, there's two things that you mentioned. One is that you mentioned the number 900 Iranian civilians died. I don't know. The number that the Islamic Republic itself gave is that 1,000 people died. And I think the number of military personnel or soldiers that died that the government gave us, I mean, even if you trust their numbers, was 228. I think it was the number, which means that Israel managed to achieve one of the lowest civilian to combatant ratio casualties in the history of modern warfare, especially given that this was in urban warfare. No country could ever defend itself without some civilians dying. So to ask any country defending itself to bring the civilian casualties to zero is basically asking that government never to defend itself, because it's impossible to defend yourself without any civilian casualties. The fact that the ratio of I'm not done, Piers.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the ratio of civilians to combatants were this low doesn't happen by accident. It only happens when an army is really, really trying to reduce civilian casualties. And also, when you're talking about they don't just hate, those are not the reasons why they hate the Islamic Republic. It absolutely is. Israel never declared war against the Islamic Republic until the Islamic Republic did. It was the Islamic Republic. It was the Islamic Republic since day one of their foundation that they promised to wipe out Israel, that they promised to destroy Israel. Israel not only has the right to come and attack the Islamic Republic, but it also has the responsibility to come and attack the Islamic Republic. When you have a government that is threatening the total annihilation of you and all of your people, it would be irresponsible if you do not attack such a government. You are responsible to your people and to your citizens to eliminate that threat.
Mossad attacked the Iranians in 2010 before.
Okay, this is not your turn. If you want, I will give you time. So Tom wants to speak. So Piruz, respond to what I just said, and then we go to Cheyenne, and then I don't know, Mr. Haider, you have your hands up.
Yes, I have response for this gentleman. Yes,
I will get to. Okay, so now you're on the list as well, so we will get to you as well. But Mr. Haider, if you want to speak, can you give me a thumbs up, because I don't know if your hand raise is from now or from before. But Piruz, okay, so you do want to speak as well. So let's go to Piruz, and then Cheyenne, and then Tom, and then Mr. Haidari, and then Kahangar, I think. Okay, so Piruz respond to. Oh no, wait, and I forgot. Oh my God, how could I forget my own co-host? So Cheyenne, and then Sword, and then Tom, and then Mr. Haidari, and then Kahangar. So Piruz, go ahead and respond to what I just said, and then we go. I hope I remember the order.
Yeah, not a lot to respond to, by the way. But you spoke about the civilian to military death ratio. It's still baffling. To me, it's baffling that you would condone this sort of thing. So it's like you're saying, oh, it's worth having 400 or 600 Iranian civilians killed just to take out 200 Iranian soldiers. Soldiers, by the way, not even Sepah, but soldiers. I mean, I can't believe I'm hearing that from an Iranian, seriously. Again, why do we have to love Israel just because we hate the government? It doesn't have to be both. Do you see what I mean?
Okay,
it doesn't have to be. That's what I'm trying to say. Again,
you say what you say. It's about the news of Islamic Republic, not really news. We have heard about people of Iran.
Okay.
You say something that's not true.
So what's true then?
Okay.
What are the numbers?
So
what are your sources?
Please do not interview this guy. Please do not interview this guy. Thank you. Do not make it ping pong.
Who's
No free
talking?
speech.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn.
It's just hate. It's just spewing hate, trying to poison the
guys.
conversation.
We're trying to talk to people who disagree. So that's the whole point. is to talk to people who disagree. And Piruz, I don't know what news you're following, because during the 12-day war, it was absolutely the Sepah commanders. In fact, it wasn't every single Sepah commander was eliminated, so which is amazing. And thank you, the IDF, and thank you, Israel, because the IDF managed to do something that we Iranians wish we could do, but we didn't have the means to do it. So, dream come true for us Iranians. But let me actually go to.
Sorry, can I just quickly respond to that? You don't think there's been some sort of rallying around the flag effect after the war? Because, like, I would make the case that most people did hate the regime before the war, but after the war, they all saw, a foreign country attack them, so they all united.
You know what you're doing.
This
you're
guy
taking
is hijacking
advantage.
the space. This guy is a hijacker.
Who is speaking?
This guy is hijacking the space.
Or Shia, whoever that is.
Who is talking?
I mean, if you want, I can just leave. I don't want to hijack the space.
Can one of the co-hosts get rid of this person that is interrupting?
It's Cheyenne. It's Cheyenne who's speak out.
Cheyenne. Cheyenne, why are you doing this? I love you.
This guy is hijacking the space, man.
Cheyenne doesn't
Cheyenne, I love you, but don't like the point.
I'm from Iran. My internet is not stable.
Cheyenne, we're trying to talk to people we disagree with. That's the point of the space. I will let you. How about this? How about you respond to him, Cheyenne? Go ahead and respond.
Yeah, exactly. Please give me 5 minutes. First and foremost, let me introduce myself to you. I'm an Iranian inside Iran. I'm Cheyenne X. This is not my real picture. It's the picture of an Iranian freedom fighter who got executed during the Mahsa Amini uprising. He was a monarchist. His name was Majid Reza Rahnavard, if you know him. But I saw inconsistency, from first and foremost, who you are. Your name is Piruz. Piruz is the name of Piruz Nahavandi, which in Persian means victor. He was responsible for assassinating the first caliph who invaded Iran. And the avatar you use is, very interestingly, is the picture of the man who played the role of Hamza, the companion of Muhammad in the movie Muhammad. So I see inconsistency in your activities. The first inconsistency.
Are you personally attacking him?
Can someone kick this guy out?
Tom, can you let Tom? It's Cheyenne's turn. Can you let Cheyenne speak? But Tom, when it's your turn, I'm gonna let you finish your point.
But Armin, I think we should attack
these are chaos agents of the Islamic Republic regime.
It's Cheyenne's turn. When it's your turn, I'm gonna let you speak. Okay, let Cheyenne finish his point, and then we'll get to you.
I'm calling out your shenanigans right now. Let me handle you. Look, first and foremost, your avatar and your name, there is no inconsistency. Your name is Piruz, which is the name of Piruz Nahavandi, who was responsible for getting rid of the caliph who invaded and conquered and occupied Iran and raped our women in history. And it speaks volume about you, which you talking about colonizing Israel being bad, but you never talk about Arabs invading our country for 14 centuries. And as an invasive culture, foreign culture, trying to dominate one of the richest cultures in human history, one of the oldest countries in human history. Let's go back to your arguments. First and foremost, you are decontextualizing. That is exactly what you're doing. You're taking out the context. You're not saying that those civilians that you're talking about are not regular Iranians. You think I, as a simple anti-regime person, I live next to an IRGC general with all of the bodyguards and security agents? You think that in the neighborhoods that the IRGC generals and the ayatollahs and mullahs are living, ordinary civilians are living? If you are Iranian, are you claiming that? Of course, they are not ordinary civilians. They are families of the IRGC members. They are families of regime agents. Only those people are living in those specific zones, military zones, and also certain areas of Tehran, especially northern parts of Tehran. Every Iranian knows that. You're decontextualizing. And also, you interestingly care about human rights, saying, oh, Israel doesn't care about human rights. Why are you constantly obsessed with Israel not caring about human rights? Why you never ask this question from Palestinians? Palestinians were involved in Iran-Iraq war. Yasser Arafat was given millions of dollars from Khomeini. He was giving millions of dollars. Khomeini gave him. And you know what he did in response? He went to Iraq chose Iraq as his residence, and then started to send troops to Iraqi army to invade Iran and kill Iranian people. And that is exactly what Saddam Hussein did. Saddam gassed Iranian children, and the Palestinian troops were involved in the Ba'athist army, killing my uncles, killing people of Iran. Why are you not talking about Palestine being involved in against Iran during Iran-Iraq war? And the only country during that war that supported Iran was Israel, despite the fact that Iran had a regime which was anti-Israel. The prime minister of the time said that at the end of the day, this regime will be gone soon, and the remaining will be the alliance that Iranian people and Israelis have. So we have to help Iran not to lose this war, because if Iran loses that war and Saddam takes over, there is no future for between Arabs and Israelis, but there is future between Persians and Israelis. And also, you're saying that Israel wants a weak Iran. Of course not. The man who founded modern Israel is David Ben-Gurion. He had a doctrine called the doctrine of periphery. According to the doctrine of periphery, Israel must be an ally of a powerful Iran. Go study history. According to the David Ben-Gurion's doctrine, which is a founding doctrine of Israel, Israel must be an ally of non-Arab countries to balance the Arab League's negative effect on Israeli interest and security. And Iran is the key country in this game, according to the official doctrine, founding doctrine of Israel. So what you say has no basis. And do not cut me off, please. Do not cut me off. Do not cut me off. Let me finish. You're sabotaging, and I'm manhandling you. That's exactly what I'm doing. Look, so let me just, you say genocide. You care about genocide? The same organization that said, the woke far left organization, which is a circus, that said that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. You know what they said about other genocides? They are saying that there's an ongoing genocide in China. The same organization that said there's a genocide in Gaza said there is an ongoing genocide in China happening against Chinese Muslims. They are called Uyghurs. And there are 15 millions of them getting silent genocide, according to the same organization that said there is a genocide in Gaza. But you don't care about them. You don't care about Muslims in China. You don't care about Christians in Nigeria getting massacred and getting killed off. You don't care about them. Why? Because Israel is not involved. Jews are not involved. You use Palestine as an excuse to express your hatred for Jews. Otherwise, if you cared about genocides, why you're not talking about Uyghur genocide? Why you're not talking about Nigerian genocide? Why you're not talking about all the genocides happening in the world right now? Because it's not about human rights. And you have to ask yourself, why Nazis? Why Marxists? Why Islamists? Why the triangle of evil? All of the evil, bad actors of the world, all of the totalitarian ideological cults, all of them are against Israel, and all of them are pro-Palestine. Why Nazis support Palestine? Why Marxists support Palestine? Why Islamist terrorists, ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, Islamist regime in Iran, all of the bad actors in the world, all of the terrorists, they are against Israel, and all of them are pro-Palestine. When every bad actor is
How long does he have?
something,
How long does he have? I
then
want the same time.
do not sabotage, you chaos agent of the regime. Look, when you have to ask yourself, what issue exactly Nazis and Marxists
Sorry, Armin.
are the same?
Armin.
Armin, how long?
I'll be back.
Do not sabotage.
Okay.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Cheyenne, can you finish it in 30 seconds so that we could listen to the response as well? Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to respond to. There's like 10 points or 15 or 20.
Look, Israel
Okay, Cheyenne, 30 seconds.
We have a track record in history. During the time of need, Israelis were the ones when we needed them during the Iran-Iraq war, when Saddam Hussein and his Ba'athist army. You know what was the flag of the Ba'athist army, the Arab Nazi army? Let me give you the answer. The Palestinian flag. The Palestinian flag is the flag of the caliphates. All of the colors that you use in the flag are the flags of the Abbasid Caliphate, the flag of the Rashidun Caliphate, the flag of the Umayyad Caliphate. So basically, that is a pan-Arabist Nazi, ethnocentric, expansionist, imperialist flag that wants Arab and Islamic dominance against non-Arab and non-Islamic people, including a Persian inside Iran like me. So of course, I am against Palestine. Of course, I am pro-Israel. And of course, I'm a Zionist. The forefather of Iran, Cyrus the Great, was a Zionist. He was pro-Jew. I'm going to be pro-Jew.
Okay, Cheyenne, thank you so much. Let's now hear Piruz respond to what you just said. And then we get to okay, Piruz, you go ahead. And then
respond to what
and
exactly? There's just too many talking points. What do I respond to? It's like 20, 25 talking points. Again, this is not why I came here, to be honest. I'll just talk about
time. Do you want to respond, or do you want me to go to the next person?
Well, if you can just give me a quick recap, because you said a lot of things. I don't know which one to respond to be honest.
He
again, I
basically,
mean, I came
he basically blamed Iran for everything. He blamed Iran for everything.
Do you want to give Tom a chance to respond to him?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay,
thank you.
Give Tom a chance.
I hope nobody interrupts me because I have a different opinion. You know, if you want
how
to
much
have Western...
Tom? How much time? Let me know how much time do you need? How much time?
Same as him, 5, maybe 4 minutes.
4 minutes? Okay, I'll start the timer. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I mean, we spoke before. You know, you're very respectable, so I like coming on your spaces. Firstly, I would like to say, remind everyone, the Shah was a Muslim. Before you bash Islam, the Shah changed the name from Persia to Iran. You're not called Persia anymore. It's called Iran because of the Shah. Secondly, there's no genocide in Nigeria of Christians. Mathematically speaking, in every metric, most victims in Nigeria are Muslims, whether it be in the north or whether it be in the south. In the south of Nigeria, there is no Boko Haram extremist group, and Muslims get killed by Christian militant groups all the time. And not only that, the Christians who kill Muslims don't seem to get jail time. And remember, Nigeria, Muslims were there first. Christians invaded afterwards. Nigeria was Muslim first. Now, if you want to talk about the genocide of Muslims, you can talk about the Central African Republic and the CAR, where Christian paramilitary groups are eating Muslims alive, eating their flesh alive, reported by multiple human rights sources. You can talk about that. Thirdly, Palestinians weren't giving money to Khomeini. The opposite. Khomeini gave support to Palestine. I mean, Yasser Arafat was one of the first foreign leaders to visit Tehran after the revolution, 1979. Iran closed the Israel embassy and handed the building to the PLO. Your whole thing is twisted. I don't know what else you said, but it was incorrect. It was revision. Yes, and Israel attacking Iran, you said no civilians died. They were all people who were related to the IRGC. That's a lie. Even Israel's own leaks contradict this. You can look at the Times of London, you can look at Al Jazeera, they covered all the civilian casualties. These were people, innocent people, with no links, no proven links to the IRGC. I don't know how someone would cheer for a different country killing their own countrymen. I don't understand this. It's a mental sickness. And the other thing I'd like to say is you're saying Iran promised to destroy Israel. And let's be honest here, who started it? In 2010, Israeli agents assassinated Masoud al-Mahmadi, Mohammadi, who was a university professor, an innocent professor in a university, killed by a bomb outside of his house. In 2011, Israel murdered Dariush. What's his name? Dariush Razijad. I'm not good with. He was the electrical engineer. He was shot in broad daylight in front of his wife, in front of his daughter. Why? They thought he was trying to make a nuclear. These people just work. They're academics. They're university teachers, and then you get angry that Iran wants revenge. I'm not surprised, and. Everything is relative, right? You can be against the IRGC, you can be against the Iranian regime, but you have to compare it to how it was before. I know most of you are fans of the Shah. The Shah was only good to the wealthy minority. To the poor people of Iran, he was not good, right? And if you want proof of this, the literacy rates tripled after the Shah left. About 35% was women's literacy rates. Now it's over 85%. More than 60% of science graduates are women. Now, even if you don't like the way it is now, it's better than how it was before. Everywhere is a fucking regime. America has a regime. Look how many
Wait, hold
homeless
up.
people.
So,
let me finish. 30
what do you,
seconds.
wait, so
Wait.
Cyrus was
He,
a
he
bad,
has 20. He
Come
has
on.
no. Wait. He has 20 seconds. Let him finish.
Everywhere is a
Okay.
regime. More people are homeless in America compared to Iran. Where's your freedom when you're homeless? More people are addicted to drugs in America than Iran. Where's your freedom when you're a drug addict? Oh, I have to wear an extra piece of scarf over my head. Well, you have to wear a shirt if you're a woman in the West anyway. Oh, it's all relative, guys. I don't understand the hate, honestly. And you're
Okay.
blaming Iran and not
Okay,
Israel. I
Tom.
don't know.
4 minutes. 4 minutes is up. Let me. Sword wanted to. So I was fair to you. Sword, you wanted to respond to that?
Yeah, I will be quick. Pirus mentioned that 800 civilian were the casualties of the 12-day war. It's wrong. The speaker of the DOJ of Islamic Republic
Hold on.
speak the first point that I wanted to say. And you mentioned the defense minister of the Israelis that he posted on the X that he want to kill Iranian people. First, we don't think anyone is a saint. He's not a saint. He's not a saint. He made a wrong post in X, and he changed that statement. And look at the facts. When 286 civilians died in the 12-day war, it's sad, but the ratio is impressive. How can you say that they want to kill the Iranian people? They just want to eliminate the threat that imposed to Israelis, that they want to eliminate their country. How can you say that?
Wait, Mary, did you remove Tom? I'm trying to get him
No,
back.
no.
Okay.
I didn't remove anyone. I
Okay.
didn't like him, but I didn't remove him. It's democracy. Everyone has to have a right
Okay.
to talk.
Let me see what Mr. Haydari has to say. Mr. Haydari, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Armin John. So, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Uh, we heard a lot of things. I mean, I do appreciate what Sword mentioned about those, statistics, because they were totally incorrect by this guy named Piruz. I mean, this was really misinformation. I'm just amazed how big of a misinformation campaign he ran just on this stage, and he thought none of us really understand it. Um, I refer you guys to the statistics published by Hengov. Hengov is a human rights actually entity organization against the Islamic regime. Is not something that I even I'm a favor of it. I'm not a big fan of them because they have certain connection to certain parts of the opposition, which I'm not supporting. But that's okay. The fact is, Hengov as an independent NGO, which is recognized by the other entities, global entities, has published a statistic which is 110% against what this guy Piruz tried to enforce and, as I said, use the psychological war to impose on us. Hengov says that about 1,000 people, 1,090 were killed. Out of 1,090, 900 something were all military, IRGC, the security people, the intelligence people, etc., etc. So something around 100 people were listed as casualty, something 100 to 150 something, listed as casualty. Now, let's look at the casualties. Since he's accusing us, Armin, gentlemen, ladies, this guy, Piruz, and that other guy, Tom, they are accusing us and they are accusing our integrity to our beloved country. So let me explain something to you. Bloody November. You know why? We understand what Israel is doing for us is really in favor of our national interest, because during the Bloody November 6 years ago, it's called, actually it's the anniversary of that incident, bloody incident. During the Bloody November, within 3 to 1 week, according to the scientists of Oxford University, not a bullshitter, not anybody, not me, scientists in Oxford University said that 3 to 5,000 and even more. It's published report on public domain. You can go and read it. No, it's okay. Let me just go with it, with what I've read. So 3 to 5,000 people and even more were killed with live bullets. Just why? Within days, within a week, they were killed by direct bullet. Why? Just because they came to street and they protest against the increase of the oil and gas price. I mean, when we compare thousands of people, they got killed and shot by IRGC and Islamic Republic, to the number that I just told you from an independent NGO. That's why you need to make a moral judgment. That's why we are for the moral. We are for our beloved country's interests. We are against murder. Murder is what the Islamic Republic did against those innocent protesters who came to street just to say, why did you raise the price of gas overnight 10 times? Those people were not civilians? Were or were not? So don't accuse us not to be moral. This is very, I mean, I cannot even, I'm not showing my anger. I don't know how to even express my anger here. Thanks.
Yep.
No,
So
good impulse control. Yeah, Armin, can I just say something quickly?
Before
I just
you
wanted
do
to
that,
have a
let me just.
discussion with you.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, okay. I will. Okay, so I will. How about this? How about we just go through the remaining people, and then after that, it will just be you and me. Okay.
No, yeah, I need to go now. But I just want to say we'll have a discussion, just me and you, later on. I do want to commend you on having a big heart, by the way, despite all the differences, despite all the disagreements. I'll give you that. You have a big heart.
Can you follow me on Can you follow me on Twitter so I could arrange just a debate between you and me?
I will do that as soon as I'm back home. I will do that. Keep it up, mate. Keep it up.
So
right,
you would be interested in a debate between just you and me? Would you be okay with that?
What a discussion, really? Yeah, just sort of like trying to figure you out, you know? That sort of thing.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do that. Okay.
All right, cheers.
So before I go,
may I read a comment in English?
Yeah. Before you do that, Mary, can I read two super? Can I just read two super chats really quickly? Nail Bunny saying, just because a bunch of idiots keep saying genocide doesn't make it true, much less a consensus. Most of us in the UK are not this thick. And then Nail Bunny also gave us another super chat on YouTube saying Muslims weren't anywhere first. Al Jazeera is Muslim Brotherhood. This Irish fool is spouting non-stop bollocks. He knows nothing about Iran and the Middle East and North Africa. So thank you so much, Neil Bunny, for the super chats. So because Mary is the co-host, Mary goes first, and then who we have also Yusuf here and who's this? Gorma Sabzi, and then Kahangar.
کاهانگر قبل از قرمه سبزی بود.
Okay, Kahangar would be first, then after Mary.
I
So
want
Mary
to
first and Kahangar.
Yes, I want to read from Siavash. Pirus, you are either a cybery or you are utterly ignorant and trapped in the regime's propaganda. Either way, I suggest you do some serious research because the things you say is madness. People like you are the reason we are in this mess.
Where did he
That's
go,
from
by the way? Is he upset? Is he upset with me?
No, not with, not with you. It's I don't know where is he, but I can ask him to come again. But it's for Pirus and an idiot.
Okay.
It's what he said. It's what he said.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's go to Kahangar.
Oh, hey everybody. I just wanted to have a quick response to this guy, this Piruz guy. I think he left.
So wait,
but-
Kahangar, can you tell people you're Iranian because people are watching on YouTube?
Yes, I'm Iranian. I'm originally from Tehran, so
okay,
I was born there. But we had way more casualties in the 47-year war between the Islamic Republic and Iran than the Israel war, the 12-day Israel war. No war has done what Islamic Republic has done to Iran. We're being occupied by them, and then we have these people talking about, oh, you had more casualties in this war, you had more casualties over there. We are being occupied. They're killing us every single day. Our population should have been 130 million people instead of 90 million now, because they have killed more than 40 million in this 47-year war. So I wish he was here so he could just respond to that. But thank you, guys. Mic off.
I'm sorry, can you hear me? I'm from Iran. I cannot live, still live my life much longer. Sorry. Can I talk?
Is the host there?
Armin, if you are okay, let
Oh wait,
Ali
sorry.
speak.
Oh, sorry. My mic was off. I was speaking to myself. Ali, did you just say that you're from Iran and then you cannot live for much longer? I don't know what you just said.
I think he's
Stay
living in
alive.
Iran. He's living in Iran, and I can't.
Okay.
He can't. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
must
What
go
do you want to say?
fast. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Like in
Okay.
10 minutes, I must go. Sorry. Yeah. With Piruz, I was so upset. I wanted to talk, but he's gone. So, because we're gonna be fast about it. Every fucking day, every fucking hour, the Islamic Republic is costing us far more than any war that Israel has done in 12 days. They are killing people publicly every fucking day. We are the first most executioner country in the world. I don't know if to explain it in English, but there are more executions in Iran than any other country per capita. Just that alone explains what they are. And secondly, there was some very interesting thing saying like there's a foreign adversary attacking your country, and why you're not defending it. Well, let me tell you, should German people have defended the Nazi Germany because the foreign adversary Americans were attacking it? Should have they done that? Was that the reasonable thing to do? Or they should have standed up against the Nazi Germany? That's just out of the head. How can you be this stupid? And then again, They are no enemies of Israel. We love them. I'm just saying, out of the normal everyday people I see, even the most religious people I know love Israel and America. For example, Voice of Israel and Voice of America are the most trusted source of information for Iranians throughout the years. I mean, like throughout the war, throughout the old people, every one of them will are like, did the Voice of America say it? Did the Voice of Israel say it?
Well, I'm
They
not
are,
sure about Voice of America because that medium has been taken over by a whole bunch of leftists. But
yeah, I know, but
but
still, it was
okay,
quite a thing for Iranians in the past, like people in the, I don't know how to
all right.
say it in English. آدم نشستی ها و در پنجره ها.
Okay, Ali.
Yes.
Let me move to the next person. Thank you for your input. You're another Iranian supporting
Yeah, I should
Israel.
go too. Thank you.
Okay,
Goodbye.
thank you so much. Okay, let me see Kahanger. Kahanger, it was your turn, and I see other people raising their hand.
Kahanger صحبت
I
Kahanger
already
spoke
spoke.
قرمه سبزی
Oh, you
بود
did. You
اسمش.
Armin,
Korma
yeah,
Sabzi, sorry.
I already
Korma
spoke.
Sabzi.
And I have my. I just wanted to have another
Like,
point that
oh,
I really it really bothers me when they talk about Iranian regime, because we are at war with the Islamic Republic for 47 years. So please do not use the word Iranian. Say Islamic Republic regime, because when you
right.
use that, it messes everything up. Thank you guys so much for giving me the
Thank you.
opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Korma Sabzi, go ahead. And I see other people raising their hand. Korma Sabzi, open your mic.
Okay, so I just like to give a really brief overview. So we had a person called Tom 3.0 who said that comparatively, it's better to like live under the Islamic Republic or whatever. But actually, that doesn't really make any sense, because when you go back to the time of like Cyrus, you could say, oh well, like average life sucked back then, but that doesn't mean he was a bad leader. So like if we look
Right.
comparatively, wait me a second.
Okay. But guys, let's focus more on Israel, and because that's the topic. Korma Sabzi, can we keep the
Just a
topic more
really
on?
quick point. Just
Okay.
because life is better in the Islamic Republic doesn't make it better. Like we had a higher
Yes.
GDP compared to Turkey and Saudi Arabia with the Shah, so I was trying to address that. But
Yeah, okay. So I think you're having some issues there. So let's move on to the next person. Yusuf. Yusuf, it's your turn.
Yeah, I wanted to speak again, even though I'm not Iranian. I still want to make some points. Well, I did want to.
Can you make them really
ask
quickly,
exactly
because
when
there's a lot of people wanting to speak. So can
okay,
you
when is
try to keep it short?
when is Israel going to strike the Islamic Republic again? I really want that regime destroyed ASAP, because this regime keeps destroying the environment of Iran. And as someone who happens to want to preserve the environment, I I wish to see the Islamic Republic gone, and the
Well,
government of Iran get resetted into
well, it seems like
into
well, if you
into a
wanted,
much
if
better.
you wanted to, like it seemed like Israel is eager to do so. It's America that is holding Israel back. So
Yeah,
the
I
reason what,
know.
yeah,
It's really pissing me off to keep waiting, and I just like, come on, really, Trump, you can't just hold Israel back. The regime just needs to die already, and the government
all right.
gets a reset.
All right, so you're just okay. So you're hoping that it happens earlier rather than later. Okay, thank you so much, Yusuf. Let's
You're
go,
welcome.
Daniel. I'm just trying to see if we could find people who disagree with us more. Let's go, Daniel Masih, and then escape. Escape what? Escape the matrix, and then easy. Okay, so Daniel, open your mic. I hope you disagree with us, so it becomes interesting.
Easy disagree with us.
He does? Okay. Daniel. Oh, easy disagrees with that. Okay. Let's go through Daniel first. Daniel, if you agree, keep it short. Okay, you're not speaking. So let's go to Messi. Messi, if you agree with us, keep it short.
Good day, everyone. I totally agree with you.
Oh,
Thank you. I'd like to take take this opportunity and thank Israel for the air support. and it gave the Iranian. I feel like it gave us a lot of motivation that there's people out there, like, who want the good for us. And now it's up to us to organize ourselves and take down the Islamic Republic for good. It is up to us to rise against this evil entity and take it down. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for this space.
Well, thank you. Okay. Escape the matrix. If you agree with us, keep it short.
No, bro, all of the things you are saying totally was like the bullshit. Because I
Okay,
see
great.
like your friend, I see like your friend like came and he said like the pure when there was the war like between the Iraq and Iran, he was like supporting the Saddam Hussein, but actually he was like supporting like the both side, and
Wait. I don't understand what you're referring to. Like, can you give us your position? Like, what do you like? You people don't know what the context is. Can you just tell us your position on Israel and the 12-day war and what, like, so that people could have give us
I'm Palestinian. I'm Palestinian.
You're Palestinian.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean? Because there's no Palestine. Are you from Gaza?
I'm from Palestine. All of the Israel is Palestine. Let me speak because
all of Israel is Palestine. So you're supporting. So you're a supporter. You want to support genocide then? You want to wipe out Israel?
Let's work the narration. Where was like the name of the Palestine? Where was the name of Israel in Balfour Declaration? There is only the name of the
Israel's name predates the name of Palestine by 1,500 years. Israel's name predates the name of Palestine by 1,500 years.
Bro, there's like a lot of country and the region. If you like look at the name of the Saudi, where was the name of the Saudi like 500 years? If the name
so, but you brought it up. I didn't bring it up. You brought up the name. If you want to compete based on the name, you would lose.
Bro, do not like bring me the bullshit about like 3,000 years ago or 500 like years ago.
Well, you brought up the bullshit.
Use the rights.
You started it. You started it. You're starting it.
Listen,
if you want to go back in time and say who was first, you would lose that game. So if you don't want us to start that bullshit, then you don't start it because we have a good response to it.
Okay, where was like the name of Israel in Balfour Declaration?
Okay, so you get to this. Like you get to this. First of all, yes. You are using an imperialist Western name. The reason why Westerners
are using like
are you are an Arab. You are an Arab, okay? Are you an Arab? You agree, right? Yes or no?
I'm everything, but not Jew.
No, you're not. Okay, so thank you so much for showing us that you're anti-Semitic as well. Okay, given that you're an Arab, I'm pretty sure
Israel fuck like all of the.
Oh, great! This is
state of Israel and all the Jews.
Do you understand that you're actually helping us demonstrate how pathetic you are? This is actually good for us. Do you know that what you're saying actually helps us support? Okay. Do you know what you're saying? Oh, guys, did somebody remove him? Don't remove him. Did anybody remove him?
They did everything.
No,
he dropped himself.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, so he basically didn't have anything to say. So this actually really helps. Guys, I don't know if they understand that when they do this, they're promoting Israel when they're demonstrating how pathetically weak their arguments are. I don't know. So that was that. I think he just realized that he has nothing. By the way, let me just actually respond to him, even though he's not here. So in the Balfour Declaration or the British Mandate and all of those documents, the reason why they use the name Palestine for that entire area is because Palestine is a Western name. So they use a Western name for that area. And he's such an idiot because I was asking him if it's an Arab, because the name of that area is not Philistine, it's Palestine. with the sound p, something that their language can't even handle. That's how foreign the name Palestine is to that region.
And it's
It's
not
so
even
foreign.
mentioned in the Quran.
Yes, it's so foreign to their region that they cannot even pronounce it. They cannot even write it. That's why they have to turn the p sound into a f sound and turn Palestine into Palestine. It's a west. It's an imperialist name. These people act like they're anti-imperialist, but Israel is the name native to that land, and Palestine is the Roman imperialist name given to that land, changing it from Israel because Romans were anti-Jewish, and the British and all other Europeans use the Western name that was not native to that
The
land.
Greeks used the
Israel
name.
is the native name of the land. And again, yeah, and actually, it's a good point that you made, Yusuf. You could see which name is more native to that area, even if you refer to the Quran. You know, the Quran, as bullshit as it is an ancient book. So you could go look at the pages of the Quran. It mentions Israel many, many, many times. It doesn't mention Palestine once. It doesn't even mention Philistine once, because that land was not called Philistine. But I think when I told him if he's an Arab, he realized that he is, like, he was waiting to talk for a long time. And then when it became his turn, he realized that he doesn't have anything, and his hands are empty. So he just said fuck Israel, and then he rage quit, because these people know that they don't have anything to offer. Who else wanted to speak?
Me.
There's some. Okay, go
I
ahead.
think Easy Easy
Oh,
have
Easy.
to
Oh, wait.
speak.
Let's go to Easy first, because Easy has been waiting for a long time, and then we go to this person, Benam Shah Mihan Abadi. You want to speak after Easy? So Easy, you go ahead first. Thank you, Mary.
Hello,
Hello. Go ahead.
hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm neither Iranian or Israel or Palestinian. I'm from Turkey. Just I didn't get. I wrote a message to Armin, and I said I'm not Iranian. Can I talk? And I didn't get reply. So I want to talk, and I'm so sorry for this. If I am interrupt your conversation,
No, this is
but
not.
I didn't.
Easy. Let me just tell you something, okay? We didn't plan this to be Iranian, okay? But it tells you a lot that when we want to when we support the fact that when we want to support Israel, a whole bunch of Iranians show up to like organically without it being designed that way. It should tell people a lot. Like when we just make it space to trying to support Israel, and then Iranians line up to come and support Israel. Okay, so it shows how
Okay,
much Iranians are like. Yeah.
I got now, but I don't understand why you support Israel. That's why I'm. If we talk about Israel, we should. I feel all Iranians' feelings. When I was in London, I met a lot of Iranian people, and I saw their. I feel their feelings. They are they are my friends, and I feel you. And I'm from Turkey, and you can also feel me. But I don't understand why you support uh, some baby killers, or why you support some unarmed hospital bombers. I don't get it. That's why I'm. If you talk about Iran and Israel something, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. But if you talk about generally, why should we support someone who killed people?
Okay, Israel is not killing just random civilians. Israel is killing Hamas and terrorists. If you're
Yeah, but
watching,
I believe you. Okay, I believe you also, but there is a lot of civilians also there.
the
No,
civilians.
am I wrong?
Have you seen? Okay, so let me ask you two questions. Okay, have
Yeah.
you seen the list of things that Israel does in Gaza to try to avoid killing civilians? That's question one. And have you seen the list of things that Hamas does to try to increase the number of civilians that die in Gaza and try to make it more difficult for Israel to fight without killing civilians? Have you seen that?
Is it really matter 1 or 100 or 1,000?
Say what? Repeat that.
Is it really matter if 1 civilian or 100 civilian or 1,000 civilian? Is it matter?
Yes, it does matter how many.
Yeah, matter. Yeah. It's because people's life is, if 2 people or 1 person or 200 people, does it matter?
I didn't. Did you not listen to what I say? Israel.
Yeah,
okay, let me make it easy for you. Okay,
Okay, please.
Israel is trying to defend itself. After Israel is attacked, they have to respond. No country can respond. Let me answer you. Let me answer
Yeah,
you.
of course. Sorry.
No country. There is no country in the world that can respond to an attack without some civilians dying on the other side. Okay. So Israel obviously had to respond. Okay, so Israel obviously had to respond to October 7th. They had to do it, right? When they're fighting
Before
in Gaza,
October 7th?
No. Wait, what? Let me. Can I finish the thought? Can I finish?
Of course, sorry.
If you go back, it's the same thing over and over again. Every single time, Israel never started a war. Israel has always responded to somebody else starting a war. Israel has never been the aggressor. Since day one, every single war that Israel has been involved in, it has never started a single one of those wars. Every single time the other sides attacked and Israel responded. And every time Israel responded, Israel never went for the civilians. But Israel's enemies...
Sure. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Israel's enemies know that Israel has a higher moral standard and doesn't want to kill civilians, so they use the civilians as a human shield. If, for example, in Gaza, Israel is fighting an enemy that doesn't wear uniform on purpose, use human shields on purpose, right? And uses the civilian infrastructure to conduct its war. And Israel is fighting in an area where the population density is the second in the world. And we're talking about Hamas leaders who have admitted that more civilians dying in Gaza is good for the resistance, is good for their image, is good to increase hatred of Israel all around the world. So we know that is their strategy. And we also look at Israel's performance in Gaza. We see that Israel has done more than any army in the world to try to reduce civilian casualties. They do the roof knocking, where they, every time they want to bomb a building, they blow a bomb above it so that the people could leave. They drop leaflets, which actually makes it very difficult to defeat Hamas, because Israel is the only army that announces to the people where it's going to attack, which it gets announced to Hamas as well. And that's why it's very difficult to try to destroy Hamas without killing the civilians, because Hamas always knows where they need to go. Israel has a team of IDF staff that know Arabic, that are constantly calling into Gaza, calling different families, calling different people with different buildings, announcing them, telling them which buildings are where it's going to be bombed so that they could move. In fact, when Israel announced that an area is going to be bombed, there were people in Gaza that were trying to evacuate an area, and Hamas on purpose tried to block them so that they stay under the bombardment. And Israeli soldiers went in and they were fighting with Hamas soldiers trying to remove the blockade. So IDF soldiers were risking their lives trying to save the people in Gaza so that they could leave the bombardment. Israel has moved more calories into a war zone.
Can I respond?
Let me finish the list. Just one more, or just two more, okay? Israel has moved more calories into an area that is fighting against than any army in the history of warfare. And during war, Israel was conducting a campaign of polio vaccine in Gaza, trying to save people in Gaza from polio. While they were fighting, like in the middle of the fucking war, they were trying to save the people in Gaza by conducting a campaign of eradicating polio in Gaza by vaccinating people there. So, and also one more thing, Israel has been using its own electricity that Israeli people pay for with their taxes, running desalination waters to get water to the people in Gaza while they're fighting in Gaza. So if you look at all of these things, it's actually, I think, insanity to suggest that Israel is trying to kill civilians in Gaza. I think the reason why you see so many civilians die is because Hamas tries to, and so it's very successful in making it very, very difficult for Israel to take out Hamas without taking civilians. But go on.
Sorry, bro, but you say something is okay, but I'm not agree with you. It's okay. We can talk anyway. But you say Israel says where Israel army says where they bombed. They before they say where they bombed. How can we say, oh, it's okay? How can we say that? There is Palestinians area, they cannot bomb there. It's Hamas. We have to accept Hamas also. I know. For me, Hamas is not okay. For me, all Islamic states are not okay. I'm sorry. Islamic ideas, Islamic states, one religion shouldn't mind my life.
What can you?
How can we not accept Hamas is Palestine's reality? How can we say if there is Hamas, we can bomb everywhere?
Okay, so listen to what you just said. Okay, you don't want to accept Israel. You don't want us to support Israel, but you're telling us that we need to accept Hamas, which is a terroristic, bloodthirsty, Jew-hating entity that did a genocide on October 7th, right? So
It's not genocide. It is big mass, but it's not genocide. Genocide is, as you know, as everyone know, is not genocide.
October 7th was not genocide. No, October 7th was genocide. Genocide doesn't mean that an act of genocide requires the intention to eradicate a population. It doesn't matter if you're successful or not. If the intention was to eradicate Jews, then it was genocide. October 7th was genocide.
But bro, is they stopped aid. They are in hunger in Palestine, Gaza side, and the West Bank side, and they got hunger. You say they are using Israel's electricity. How
if there is hunger, if there is hunger in Gaza, is because Hamas attacks. If there's hunger in Gaza, is not because Israel is not moving food into Gaza. Israel has moved more food.
Israeli soldiers attacked United Nations food.
Israel, hold on. Israel has moved more food into a war zone, especially a war zone that is an area that is fighting against, than any army in the history.
They don't let the other countries.
Hold on.
Why?
The reason why some areas, again, not all, there are some areas of Gaza where people are actually eating very well. But the reason why some areas of Gaza people are hungry is because Hamas attacks UN trucks. Hamas attacks UN trucks, and that's why there's two things happen. First of all, many UN drivers refuse to deliver the food because they don't find it safe and they don't want to be attacked by Hamas, and also because when Hamas steals the food, and even the United Nations have admitted this, that 90% of the aid that gets in through their trucks gets into the hands of Hamas, and Hamas uses that to control the Gaza. So, Hamas does not have to be the reality of Gaza. In fact, the reason why Hamas is the reality of Gaza is because of the control they have over the aid. That gives them leverage, that gives them power. In fact, if you want to get rid of Hamas, the most important thing you could do is control the aid. And that's what Israel and United States was doing through the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. And if you want to blame anybody for some people in Gaza going hungry, you need to be blaming Hamas for attacking the
I
UN
blame I
trucks.
blame them. I blame them. No worries about that. I
then
never
don't blame
support.
Israel.
But
Don't blame Israel. Then don't blame
I
Israel,
blame.
because Israel has been.
Why don't you blame
Israel has
Israel?
done more
Why
than.
am I here? You can't decide what I do or say.
I didn't say I can decide. I didn't say I'm
Yeah,
deciding for you.
why you say don't blame? Did I say don't support Israel? Did I say no?
Easy.
Why you say?
Armin,
Easy.
let's
When I say don't blame
Shah.
Israel, that's when I say don't blame Israel. That's not a command. That's a suggestion.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. But before peace agreement or whatever is from Spain to Gaza seaside, there is a ship try to went over there, but Israel supports.
Okay, easy. I'm going to respond to this. I'm going to then after that I'm going to go to other people. Okay, the reason why Israel had to stop,
thank you.
The reason why Israel had to stop that ship is because Israel can only allow aid in through areas where it could check the aid. Okay, there are crossings. Okay, there are crossings because Hamas tries to use the aid as a way to get weapons. They turn the weapons into really tiny little pieces, and they could put
from
it in
Spain, man.
Wait, hold on. So if some random brat wants to act like become an Instagram star and is using a tiny little ship to bring aid that is not going to be enough for a fraction of people in Gaza just so that she could become more popular. We cannot, like, Israel is not going to allow that ship inside Gaza because it's not going through the crossings where we have IDF soldiers and also experts checking every single parts of the aid to make sure that weapon is not getting into the hands of Hamas through the aid. So of course Israel cannot just randomly allow food coming from other directions. It has to go through confirmed.
They didn't check. They stopped.
Well, yeah, they cannot because they don't have the infrastructure and the systems in place. They have to go through approved
That is why it's the problem. Only Israel decide what they eat, what they drink, what
Israel has decided for the people of Gaza to eat 3,000 calories per day per person of food has gotten into Gaza, which is more than I eat. It's double the amount I eat every day. So the reason that food that
how can you know definite numbers? I don't understand. I am watching.
There's a peer review.
I am watching news. You are watching news.
There's a peer reviewed because there's a peer reviewed academic research on this. There's a peer reviewed academic research on this. That's how I know.
Yeah, man. Should we trust academic research? For example, Iranian Islamic states. If they do academic research, do you believe that?
Well, this academic research was not from an Islamic state, so don't worry about it. It's
this is from Israel, maybe. How can we trust them?
No, it's not from Israel. It's from Western academia. Okay, do you want me to send it to you?
Yeah, come on. Okay, thank you.
Come on. Okay, so you don't trust evidence either. All right.
Yeah, of course I don't trust. How can I trust?
Yeah,
I saw the camps.
Of course. You trust propaganda over peer-reviewed academic research. I understand.
Yeah, you should understand.
I trust. You trust TikTok videos over peer-reviewed academic research. I completely understand.
Not TikTok, man. I have no TikTok account.
Okay, easy. We need to move to next.
Okay,
so,
thank
Mary,
you.
Who's next? Thank you. Mary, who's next?
به نام شاه میهن.
Okay, به نام شاه میهن, and then who's after that?
Masi had hands up, and then Shayan and Siavash.
And Shawan, and then also, oh wait, so we have Adin here. Aiden
Hey,
here, and
Adin heeft
also
niet.
and we
You
have
have to raise your hand.
yeah, no, and he did. Aiden did, and also Igor did as well. Okay, so keep them in mind. Aiden, Igor, Shayan, Messi, and okay. So let's go to Bename Shah Mihanabadi. Okay, go ahead. Can you keep it short because I want to.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you for
Hello.
having me, Mike, to talk about Israel. I'm Iranian. I support Israel. And I want to tell you the reason. Because of Cyrus Accords. Cyrus Accords it's important. Iranian are in a national revolution now. And we are monarchist. King
Did she get cut or did I
Reza
get cut?
Pahlavi and Benjamin Netanyahu support our country, support our king. And I want to tell you another reason to support Israel. Hamas is a big betray to the Iranian. Hamas killed by Hello,
She's
can you hear
from.
me?
She's from. Yes, she's
Okay,
from
okay.
Iran. Because of that, is her connection not so good.
She's inside
Okay, so
Iran. Yes.
oh, so she's talking from inside Iran. Okay, so your connection is not so good. So we're gonna move to the next person. Sorry about that. Who's the next person, Mary?
Masti, and then Shayan, and then
Messi.
Siavat, and then Adin.
Oh, it's
Messi,
okay.
can you
Sharon
keep
can
it
go.
short?
Like,
Because
yeah,
can you keep it short? Because yeah, thank you. Go ahead. Hello.
my
Okay,
bad. Cheyenne can go. Like, I'm okay.
Okay. Okay, Cheyenne, you go ahead.
Thank you very much. Finally, I can speak. Look, first and foremost, these pro-Palestinian people. I'm inside Iran, by the way. My connection is better, but it doesn't mean that I'm not inside Iran. Look, first and foremost, these pro-Palestinian. Also, my English is better too. You know, better than 99% of Iranians outside Iran. So, look, these pro-Palestinians, they are beyond imagination. Their rage for human rights and is completely selective. I've proved all of that with my first part of the speech during the early minutes of this space. Look, if you care about genocide, if you look, you're Muslims. I'm not a Muslim. I'm an ex-Muslim. I have left Islam. You get it? So you are Muslim. You have sympathy for other Muslims. Why even your sympathy is so selective, so fascistic, so racist? Because the same organization that you are using their their conclusion as a proof or evidence for genocide happening in Gaza, the same organization, I forgot the name of this organization because it's a circus organization of the far left. They said a few years before this war in Gaza, they said there is an ongoing genocide happening against Muslims, millions of Muslims in communist China. But no one, no country, no Muslim country. There are 55 Muslim countries. I excluded Iran because today Iran is not a majority Muslim majority country. We are living inside Iran. We left Islam en masse. But why your rage is so selective and you don't want to give voice to the Turkic Muslims in China, who of course speak a Turkic language, but they are Sunni Muslims living inside China, which has a communist totalitarian regime, which naturally they have a anti-theist, systemic anti-theism. They have government or atheism. So they want to banish almost every aspect of any kind of religion, including Islam. And Muslims naturally are against it, against communism, because they want to practice their religion in China. But their mosques are getting destroyed. Their women and men are getting, the women are getting forced abortions. Their men are getting forced sterilization, not to give birth
So
to.
Shia, so your point is that there's a selective outrage, right? Like, I'm just
There's
trying to
rate
get
forming. There is rate forming. There is fraud. There is selective outrage, which completely speaks volume about these people, that these people are not genuine humanitarian. They are not pro-human rights. Of course not. What about Christians, black Christians? The same people who claim Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Oh, wait a minute. Black lives doesn't really matter in Africa. Who original black people, black people who are born in a black culture. Native black people in Africa are getting massacred because they are Christians in almost every Muslim majority country. Why you don't even post anything about Nigeria? There's no
because
content.
they're being killed by Muslims, not by Jews. That's the reason.
Exactly. No Jews, no news. Look, the entire Palestinian cause.
Can we live the Jewish issue out of it as a Jewish person? Kindly live the
You
Jewish
have
issue out
to
of
wait
it.
for your turn.
Look,
You have to
look,
wait for your turn.
Yeah, I want to get to Rose soon because she disagrees with us. So the people who agree with our position, can you keep your position? Can you keep your points short? Because I'm trying to get to the people who disagree with us, which is like I think
Look,
Rose disagrees.
look,
Yeah, go. So
we
sorry,
need
Shia,
to-
can you keep it short so that I could get to the people
we
who
need
disagree?
to
Okay?
we need give me 5 minutes. We need to ask
2 minutes.
ourselves. We need to ask the other side, the Palestinian side, that you constantly ask Israelis, well, what about human rights? What about genocide? What about this? Why are you not asking that from Islamists, from Muslims? Look, you have 20 Arab countries, excluding Saudi Arabia. All of them, it's like 100% of them, they have non-Arabic names. Egypt, once non-Arab country, Coptic language, Christian religion. Syria, once Syriac with Christian religion. Iraq, once part of the Persian Empire, it has a Persian name. The name of the capital is Baghdad, which Bag means garden. In Persian, it's a Persian name. These countries do not have even Arabic names. Why you're not asking yourself about Arabo-Islamic colonialism, imperialism, discrimination, dominance, imperialism of pan-Arabism, expansionism? Why you're not talking about Arab colonialism for 14 centuries, raping women of different ethnic groups, but your rate is
Can we
completely
tone down the
selective.
racism and the bigotry just a tad? What the fuck, dude?
Do not sabotage, you chaos agent of the Islamic regime. How much the Islamic regime paid you?
Keep
How
crying,
much
you
Islamic
idiot.
regime paid you? Tell us.
Okay, Cheyenne, let's 30 more seconds and then we're going to move to the next person.
Yeah.
You have anything?
Look, you have to ask yourself. It's not, look, do not victimize yourself. You're not the one who can victimize. Look, there was a war, if you read history, called Iran-Iraq War. And the Iraqis, the Ba'athist Party, basically a pan-Arab, the Arab Nazism, basically. Saddam Hussein was in charge of Iraq. He started invasion of Iran, occupation of Iran. He gassed Iranian children during that war.
Okay.
Okay, let me finish that. Let me finish that. Who sided with Saddam Hussein against Iranian people? And who sided against Saddam Hussein? Who sided with Saddam Hussein? The Israelis sided against Saddam and helped Iranians. They bombed Saddam's positions, which was in favor of my country's security and national interest.
Okay.
And the Palestinians were present as troops who were fighting with Saddam against my people, gassing my people. And you're not even talking about it as if it never happened in history, but you are only selectively speaking about selective stuff. I don't like it because that is hypocrisy beyond imagination. Thank you very much.
That's good. That's a good point. Thank you. By the way, guys, I want to get to Rosa very fast. I know other people who agree. Please make your points very short. And Rosa, I want to, if you're interested, I would like to have a whole discussion with you later. So follow me so I could message you at some point. So who's? Let me just go through Aiden because he was first. Aiden, if you agree with us, please keep it very very short.
Well, I just want to say that first appreciate for the audience, but it's very interesting how basically people let themselves to be deluded with the Palestinian narrative in general. Because it's interesting, like I have personal Palestinian friend, and what I find common with all my friends is that they are not deluded themselves with the Palestinian narrative. Like, yeah, we identify as Palestinians, but they're not claiming, oh, we have been here since thousands of years, so therefore we have exclusive claim to this land. Like I have a Palestinian friend who recognizes that, oh, my family come from Syria in the 19th century, or another friend who is a Christian who claim we are Maronites from Lebanon, and so does various Druze and Bedouins, all of that. Like we need first to, if we want to address, if we want to talk about supporting Israel, we first need to addressing the Palestinian narrative. Like you can't, because when you support Israel, you're only in the defensive position. You need also to be in the attacking one. You need also to attack the other narrative.
Okay.
So this is basically a recap the position.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Then Igor, can you keep your point very short because I want to try to see what Rosa why Rose disagrees with us. Igor.
Yeah, just wanted to answer to Easy about the flotilla. First of all, it was empty. There was no aid there. So I don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, they smuggle. I worked in this field. I worked at the checkpoints. I know how they smuggle things, and they smuggle things every day. And yes, it has to
You
go for
worked at the
screening.
checkpoints? What does that
Let
mean?
let Rose let him finish and then we get to you.
That
I'll
means
make sure
that I
Rose, I'll make
had
sure nobody interrupts
my
you, okay? So let
experience.
okay,
I had
go
my
on.
experience with smugglers and smuggling. So yeah, Israel that did the right thing to stop those ships.
Okay.
That's it. That's
Thank
my
you,
point.
Igor. Thank you, Igor. Okay, Rose, it's your turn.
Okay. First of all, let's start with the fact that I have nothing against Islam, and I think the rhetoric that is anti-Islam is extremely, extremely dangerous. Considering the fact that there are a lot of Muslim Iranians, and if you really care about your country, you should not alienate any of them. There is nothing wrong with Islam. Everything that is wrong with religious fanaticism, which we can see in every religion, not just Islam, also Judaism, also Christianity. So just putting that on the table. In regards to the Cyrus Accords, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the only person in Israel who's talking about that is the idiotic Minister of Intelligence, which nobody listens to, nobody cares about, named Gila Gamliel, who also makes the bizarre AI Reza Pahlavi videos, which is creepy on its own. The main thing that you need to understand, the majority of Israel does not support this government, which I do not agree with them as well. I'm the anti-Bibi camp too, but generally speaking, because I identify as an anti-Zionist, but generally speaking, Israel, the majority of Israel, do not give a flying fuck about what happens to the Iranian regime, not as much as you think. The fact that Bibi speaks to the Iranian or the Persian people in the diaspora does not mean that anyone in Israel even knows who Reza Pahlavi is. I happen to have followed him way before October 7th. I know what happened when he was in Israel. Nobody reported it. Most Israelis do not know and do not care about it. And more than anything, can you
You
stop
don't know
looking?
how many
No,
Iranian calling.
Mary, let her like it's her turn. Let her
More than
speak. Thank you.
anything, those who do know one or two things are extremely, extremely angry with the fact that you keep looking at our soldiers as your private army, sending them to die on your behalf. This has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with the Palestinians. Palestinians, by the way, despise the IRGC because, like a Palestinian friend once told me, name one hospital that Iran donated in Gaza. Every other Muslim country has, Iran has not. I differentiate between the IRGC and Iran clearly. That does not mean I support the Shah or the IRGC. That means I support the right of every people to decide their own fate, to have self-determination, and so should you. But this tendency of mixing Israel, Palestine, Iran is nothing but harmful. Seriously, you need to stop this. This has nothing to do with you. The Palestinian and the Israeli occupation mess has nothing to do with Iran. It was there before the IRGC and it will be there whether the IRGC is there or not. Hopefully, we can end it and you can have your country back in your own ways and means. But I genuinely don't understand why you need to mix the two together. This is not our war. Fight your own wars. Leave us the fuck alone. This is the majority of the Israeli public sentiment, whether you like it or not. And regarding to Bibi, if I tell Israelis, if I bring to you 4 random Israelis, most likely that if you tell them Bibi is good, they will bite your head off. I don't understand where you get your information, but it's wrong and it's damaging and it has nothing to do with Iran.
Wait,
Deal with
don't
your
open
own
your
shit
mic.
and leave us the
Hey,
fuck
Aiden.
alone.
Aiden, don't open your mic. Okay, I'm speaking to Rose. Let me speak to Rose. So, Rose, for people who are watching us on YouTube, you are Israeli and you consider yourself anti-Zionist. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when you say, so you don't speak on behalf of Israelis, then you keep saying us
Oh, no,
are
I am a tiny, tiny majority.
a
But I
tiny
can
majority.
still
That's a
give you the
contradiction.
truth when
Tiny
it comes to
majority. That's a
facts.
contradiction. Okay, yeah, but
No,
let
no,
me
no, no,
like
no,
I
no, no,
didn't.
no. There's a
I didn't
difference
interrupt you.
between my, no,
I didn't.
Armin, there's
I
a
didn't
difference
interrupt
between
you.
my politics. There's a difference
You
between my politics
you
and
don't know
opinions
how to
and the
speak
facts
because
on the ground.
you don't
Two
have enough
very different
decency.
things.
You don't have enough decency to let somebody disagree with you. You said a
You
whole
can
bunch of
disagree with my
nonsense that
politics.
I
You
look.
can't dispute. Armin,
Rose,
do you agree with me
you
that there
are
is a
not
difference?
civilized
Hold on.
enough. Let me tell
There
you,
is a
you
difference
are not.
between
You're not a
facts
civilized
and
person.
opinion.
You
Let's
are
establish
rude.
something. Do you agree with me that there's a
We
difference
listen
between
to
Rose,
you
facts
and
and
you have to
opinion?
listen to
Mary,
us.
Mary,
If you
Mary,
don't,
Mary, Mary,
We're
Mary.
having a
Let me
discussion
handle
just
this.
like you wanted. So I want to establish something. Do you agree that there is a difference between facts and opinions?
Mary, I agree that you
Yes
are
or
an
no?
uncivilized, rude person that doesn't know how to take a disagreement. You just witnessed me listen
Again,
to a whole bunch
you
of
can
bullshit.
disagree with me on the facts, on my opinions, all
You
you
are
want.
not letting
You
me
cannot
speak.
disagree
I
on
give you and
facts and
I showed
reality.
you enough decency. I showed you enough respect to let you finish your thoughts. You cannot do the same for me. You don't know how to do this. You're not fit to have a
Again, I
discussion.
asked you a simple
You are
question. You want to go
you
ad
are
hominem? That
unworthy.
tells more about you than about me. Is there a
Can you
difference
shut up?
between facts and
Can you
opinion?
shut up, please?
Can you
Can you
answer the
let me
question?
I'm going to go through all the bullshit that you said before I answer your question. You're
I
not
just
going
want to
to
know
dictate.
if you
You're
are
not going to
capable of making
dictate.
a
You're not
distinction
going to
between facts
dictate
and
how
opinions.
you are not going to dictate what I say first. I will answer your question after I respond to all the nonsense that you just spewed here.
Okay,
You don't
let's
get
hear
to
it.
tell me. You don't get to tell me what I answer
I
first,
just
okay?
did.
Well, I could. Okay, you can, but everybody can see that you are an uncivilized, not so. You don't know how to do this. You are not fit for a discussion.
Instead
Okay,
of bitching,
you're
how
not.
about you
See
just
see
speak?
even now you cannot close your mic. You are not worthy of a discussion.
I'm
You are
motivating
used
you to
to you are used.
continue.
See, you are not used to hearing back other people's
Not used to
responses.
hearing
You
what?
just want to look. You still cannot close your mic. You still can't. You're incapable of keeping your mic closed. You
You're
cannot have a
incapable of
conversation.
speaking
See
to the
now, even now,
facts.
look, even now, you cannot keep your mic closed. You cannot.
No,
You do not like. Look, you open your mic again.
no.
Unbelievable. Okay.
She is a chaos agent of the Islamic Republic regime.
All right.
I mean,
So Rose,
as an Israeli, can I add something? Like,
given that you're not worthy of a discussion because you don't let me speak, maybe I should hold on. Let me actually get rid of her. Remove from the speakers. Okay. All right, so let me actually respond to all her bullshit without her here, because she's not fit for a discussion. She cannot close her mic. So first of all, Islam, as when she said that we have to accept Islam, that Islam is not the problem. Some Muslims are the problem. That's absolute bullshit. And I understand that many Iranians are Muslims, and we could accept them as our fellow citizens that we live with. And we respect them as individuals, and we want the best lives for them. However, that doesn't mean that we have to accept their bullshit ideology. We don't have to accept. We could basically call out their bullshit ideology while wishing them the best lives, wishing them security, wishing them prosperity, wishing them growth, and then also disagreeing with them and calling out their ideology as bullshit. In the same way that me as an atheist, every Muslim has the right to call out my lack of belief in God as bullshit. They can do that. It's completely fine. As we can be neighbors, we could even be friends, we could be co-workers, and I don't have to respect your religion. I could call out your religion as barbaric, backwards, anti-human, anti-science, anti-progress, violent, and you could say all of those things about atheism if you wanted to. All I owe you as an individual is to not threaten your security, not to harass you, not to abuse you, not to limit your free speech. That's all I owe you. I don't owe you respecting your religion. And if you want more than just you being safe and having your freedom of expression to spread your bullshit religion, then you're a sensitive little snowflake. If you want more than that, if you want me to not disrespect your religion, then that's your problem. It should be enough for you that I do not harass you, that I do not threaten you, that I wish you well, that I wish you safety. That should be enough for you. Wanting me to also respect your dog shit religion is too much of an ask. I don't ask you to respect my views, so why would you ask me to respect your views? All I ask you is to respect my safety and my security and my right to say what I want, and you could ask me the same thing. That's all we can ask from each other. So that's regarding Islam, right? And also, this lady said that she's an anti-Zionist, so she doesn't represent the Israeli people. In fact, not only she doesn't represent the Israeli people, which are the vast majority of Israeli people are Zionists. This woman was actually anti-Israel. She stands against the very idea that makes Israel possible. So when she comes here and says, "Don't our soldiers, our army," those are not her army. When she said, like, "Oh, don't ask our soldiers," first of all, we didn't ask our soldiers to do anything as Iranians. We're just watching and we're impressed by your soldiers, and they are not your soldiers. Let's be clear. We as Iranians are just watching Israeli soldiers, and we are celebrating them, and we are impressed by them, and we are promoting them, and we're defending them. We're not asking them to do anything. They're doing fine by their own. They don't need our request. They don't need our demand. They don't need our request. They're fighting their own enemy, which is the Islamic Republic, which happens to be our enemy as well. So the IDF is obviously not waiting for the Iranian people to request them to do anything for them to do what they want to do, what they want to defend their own country against the Islamic Republic. And also, she's talking about the unpopularity of Bibi in Israel. First of all, it's not as unpopular as she is. It's true that Netanyahu has, because of the hostages, Netanyahu is less popular than before. He goes up and down the polls, but there are so many Israelis that still love him. But even if he was unpopular, I mean, the next runner of the person that seems to be winning right now, if Bibi was not prime minister, would be Naftali Bennett. And Naftali Bennett is actually more eager to attack the Islamic Republic than Netanyahu. So she's like, oh, you guys shouldn't, like, if you guys like Netanyahu coming and attacking the Islamic Republic, he's unpopular. Okay, well, the guy that is actually more popular than him, the guy that is more popular than Netanyahu right now, if there were elections, is actually more aggressively anti the Islamic Republic than Netanyahu. So I don't know why she's trying to tie all of this to Netanyahu, saying, "Oh, all of this is." Actually, the Israelis, right now in Israel, there might be some disagreements over Netanyahu over the hostages, but when it comes to the Islamic Republic, there is close to unanimous agreement on that. So when she says that this is not about Iran, this is not about the Islamic Republic, she's full of shit, because I know that that is something that Israelis actually don't disagree on much. And she is clueless about the influence of the Islamic Republic. She doesn't understand that all the threats to her country are funded and supported by the Islamic Republic, and Israelis do understand that. I mean, she's obviously clueless because she's anti-Zionist. It's so crazy that she's an Israeli that is anti-Zionist. The very idea that is holding her country together, she's against it. So she's basically a traitor to her own country. She's
I
a
met the
traitor to
type.
her own country. Okay. And also regarding many Israelis not knowing Reza Pahlavi, I don't know what she's responding to. It's not like we came and claimed that Israelis know Reza Pahlavi, but what we do know is that they know Reza Pahlavi more today compared to yesterday. We know that it's increasing. We didn't say it's widespread in Israel. We didn't say knowledge of Reza Pahlavi is widespread in Israel, but we know it's a growing trend. And yeah, true, maybe it's not as much as we want it to be, but that's why we keep trying. That's why we're trying to build a bridge with the people of Israel so that we could introduce Prince Reza Pahlavi to more Israelis, because the more Israel, I haven't seen many Israelis that once they become aware of Reza Pahlavi, Prince Reza Pahlavi, that they did not like what they see. So many Israelis. The problem is that many Israelis don't know Prince Reza Pahlavi, but I can tell you, every time they get introduced to him, they love him. So that shows that we need to do a better job introducing Prince Reza Pahlavi to more Israelis, because it's an easy sell. And I think this woman should shut her mouth about saying our soldiers, because I could promise you, lady, those are not your soldiers. Those are those soldiers that you're referring to. They are a force of Zionism. Those soldiers are Zionist soldiers, the very thing that you are against. So shut up about saying those are soldiers. All right. So, Mary, you wanted to say something. Sorry, I kept on jumping in, Mary, and then you could tell me who's
No,
next.
I wanted to say you said everything, and I want to say she's not. I looked at her profile and I saw she wasn't what she said. That was what I wanted to say. She's so many of news that she retweeted was actually also from Iran, and what happened in rock concert in Iran, and I was really surprised to see her posts.
Yeah, she
Because
seems to be.
she said yes. If you look at her posts, you can see and you can find out what she's thinking. What was she thinking, and why was she here?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she didn't want to let me speak. That's why she kept on opening her mic. She knew that what she was saying was easily destroyed with and that's why she didn't want to let me speak, because she knew how easy it was to respond to her nonsense. Okay, so who's next, Mary? Oh, can Sword, can you be a co-host?
Sword, yes, Sword is back, and Shayan Hussein. I think Shayan Hussein in 7 October. Okay, Bosh.
Okay, guys. Everybody who agrees with us, can you please keep it short? Sorry, I'm not. I know that you guys want to say a lot of things, but I'm trying to get to more people who disagree. So, who's the next person? You said Shayan.
Yes, Cheyenne spoke actually a few times. If you are okay, let Hossein speak first.
Okay, Cheyenne, let's see what
It's
Hossein has to say.
it's 7 October. It's the turn of the 7 October.
Oh, 7 October.
Oh,
Let's see
thank
what
you.
7 October. Okay, 7
Yeah,
October. If you agree with us, keep it short. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree or disagree with you, but yeah, hi, I'm from Germany, and there's like many Iranians who talk about Jimmy Carter or Mossadegh or whatever and foreign meddling, and I just wanted to tell you, since we have many Iranians and Israelis here, that it was the Palestinian PLO that trained the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, and that gets often forgotten. And also Rose just now claimed that this whole issue has nothing to do with Iran. But IRGC was, you can ask Grok from XAI, was trained,
Yes,
maybe even funded by the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, established training camps in Lebanon and Syria during the 1970s. So the very militia, the military that is occupying Iran now, that is plundering its resources and giving it to Palestinians, it was trained and funded by the Palestinians. The first leaders, Mustafa Kamran, I don't know their names, they were also trained in Lebanon and I don't know where. You can ask Grok. It
and
can
Libya.
explain it very well. And there's not many people talking about it. People talk about Mossadegh, they talk about Jimmy Carter and foreign meddling. This is the worst foreign meddling that has ever happened in Iran, training this IRGC.
Okay, good. So it seems like we agree. Yeah, and that's a
He
good
has
point.
it about Cameron.
Ziba Kalam is one of them who admitted that the Islamic Republic was being trained by so-called Palestinians at some point. Okay, so who's next, Mary? And guys, don't bring anyone else up because the shows we already went over 2 hours. Who else is
It's
next?
Hossein's turn. It's Hossein's
Hossein.
turn.
Okay, Hossein. Thank you, Sword. Oh, Sword is now here. Okay, so Hossein.
Hello, guys. I support Israel because I believe that the future of Israel and Iran are tied together. The thing is, as long as mullahs have the power in Iran, if the Israel destroy Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, whatever, they're gonna find another guys and give them money, they give them missiles to attack Israel again. The problem here is it's not a political or economical threat to Israel. It's the existent threat to Israel. And right now, in in this time of the history, the good thing is the future of these two countries are tied together. We support Israel because as long as the mullahs is over there, they're gonna spend all our people's money to support these bullshits and terrorist groups around the world. That's why we support Israel. That's why we feel, because we learned during those 47 years that what is the consequence of the following the bullshit ideology. The problem is the Western and even some Israeli people, they don't understand because they didn't live this history. They don't know about the Islam. And they're going to find out if they don't help us. They're going to find out very soon. They find out that they have to spend, I don't know, billions of dollars to protect themselves. What is the import and export of the Gaza? During these years, or I don't know how many years the Gaza, they have the power, the Hamas power over there. What's their export? Nothing. What's their import? All the money, missiles, bullshit. That's the simple
Hossein.
war.
Hossein, it seems like we agree mostly.
Yeah.
So like keep it short.
No,
Okay,
that's
you're
it.
done. That's
Just
it.
keep
That's
in
it.
mind
Okay.
the future of
Okay.
Iran and Israel are tied together. Yeah.
Okay, the future of Iran and Israel are tied together. That's true. Okay, so Daniel, I know you were waiting for a long time. Is your mic fixed?
Yes, do you hear
Daniel?
me, guys?
Yes. If you agree, keep
Oh,
it very short. Very
yeah,
short.
okay.
If you
I had some bad connection before. I wanted to join in with some other subjects, but I'm going to give you my take, or maybe the traditional take about what's happening.
short.
Okay, the people who who actually know what's the future of Israel should be are really pissed off with the result of the 12 days war. We really think that the Ayatollahs were supposed to be hit until they fall, help the Iranian people to take over and to establish a new government over there. The fact that Trump is messing around with the Middle East, the fact that Bibi doesn't really have Israel and the region interest in mind, it's a problem for for maybe the more traditional, more religious people in Israel. This is as long as you don't think so, this is a religious war. I know many people here doesn't come from a place of religion, but your enemy is. You know, your enemy is very religious, is very traditional religion oriented. And the fact is that there is an American interest to keep the Iran the way it is. And there is a very, very strong interest for America not to have the Iranian people, not the mullahs, not the Ayatollahs, to keep the division between the Jews and the Persian, between the Jews and the Iranian. And once that's gonna happen, America are gonna lose its grip on Israel, gonna stop the influence. We're gonna have less and less influence if Israel gonna have a big interest in coming with peace with Iran and India as well. And so
okay, shorter. Daniel, I'm gonna need to close the show soon, so there are other people waiting. So shorter.
Okay, so the traditional Israeli point of view is that America is fucking Israel in the ass, and I'm gonna end it with that because it's not something.
Yeah, I do agree that America seems to be standing in the way of Israel doing the thing that it needs to do. So before we go to Cheyenne and Easy, let's actually quickly talk to the people who haven't talked yet. I don't know who's
Graybush and
Graybush. Graybush.
Yeah.
If you agree, really short.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep it short. My response was to that Rose M anti-Zionist lady, but everybody said pretty much what I was going to say. The issues of dealing with the IRGC and dealing with the Palestinian issue are, have become intertwined, and there's no difference between one and the other, and it's simply because, excuse me, they're strategically aligned in the region. Both want the same objective. They both want to destroy Israel. The connection between the Palestinian people, I mean, there's no religious bond. The Iranian people, they don't give a shit about the Sunni extremists, right? They would more or less want to see them dead, except for the fact that they are strategically aligned and are one of the weapons in Iran's what is it, the Ring of Fire strategy. They're critical to that. Sorry, I have a cold. And so you can't separate the two issues. And that woman Rose M just is so annoying because she has no idea what she's talking about, but pretends to speak for Jews and for Israelis, and she doesn't. She doesn't speak for any of us, and it's really annoying to hear her talk. And you just can't separate the two issues. They're too entwined, and you're not gonna fix one without fixing the other. And that's about it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for that. And then let's go to who's this? Pialici.
Yes, it's Pialici. Can
okay,
you hear
if
me?
you agree with us, keep it short. Yes. If you agree with us, keep it short.
Yes, I definitely agree with you, and I want to also commend you for the way so masterfully you handled that lady Rose and stuff. And I've known you for a long time. I'm 100% in agreement with just about all of your thoughts, Armin, and I thank you for giving me the mic. I am a monarchist constitutionalist who definitely supports Israel, and in fact, I've been called a Zionist. So, and I'm honored to be called that. Can I just throw a perspective on the Cyrus Accord versus the Abraham Accord? That's the only thing I wanted to throw at you because you got a good mind. I want to see what you think about it.
Okay. Short
Yeah,
though.
sure. Yeah, very short. You see, we do have an Abraham Accord because it came to existence between Israel and states who are by religion and by culture and everything anti-Zionist, I mean anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish, and everything. But if we want, and so therefore there was a need for an accord. There you go. There's an Abraham Accord, and you could go that way. However, between Iranians and Israelis and the long culture and history, and the history of Cyrus, see, there was no animosity and everything that accord needed to be created. We really have something beyond an accord with Israelis and the Jewish people. You know what I
Right.
mean? So maybe we want
Yes.
to work on that terminology of accord. And yeah, sure, we keep the name Cyrus in there. Whatever, what you think about that? Thank you very much. That's all I got.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Cyrus Alliance. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're
there
right.
you
We're not.
go.
Yeah,
Going
the
back to the
Cyrus Alliance.
Cyrus Alliance. I love that. Thank you
Alliance.
so much.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Armin,
guys, you heard
Miss
it.
Rose have write something in Hebrew, and somebody there, the John or so, he wanted to talk, and he has answered answer her. And I had you are Jewish or Zionist, and they have a discussion under the right, and I am really curious what he think, because he said that they said they don't know about Iran or what's happening in Iran, but they have so many posters about Iran. I am really curious.
Wait, I don't understand what you just said. Are you saying they're posting about us? But
Yeah.
let me just announce this. Okay, so let me just announce this, guys. You heard it here first. We're just renamed the Cyrus Accord from the Cyrus Accord to the Cyrus Alliance. All right, but
Yes,
um,
yes. Cyrus,
yeah,
Cyrus Alliance Revival. How about we make it 3 words?
rev-
Cyrus Alliance Revival.
پیالچی جان پیالچی جان دنبال زیر بغل ماری الان ما بخوایم صحبت کنیم ما تو صفیم.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let's go to the next person. Let's go to. Okay, actually, Cheyenne, thank you so much, PL Chijan. What Cheyenne, what he was trying to say is that we have Iranians and Israelis are natural allies. So that's what he was trying to suggest. Okay, so let's actually go to Cheyenne and Mary. Can you write down what you just meant, because I didn't
Yes.
understand what you're saying?
Yeah,
No, Cheyenne just
Message.
had to stick one in
I
there for
said
me, you know.
Okay, okay, wait.
c'est pas ça,
Just
my
message me.
PLHC. Yes,
Mary,
John has
okay,
a
go.
request, mic request. He is someone then occupied with
Okay.
Rose, I think. They have
Okay.
they had rights, comments under the
Okay.
space.
Okay, so let's just go to Cheyenne first, and then we could go. But I need to go soon. That's why I like you guys are holding me here. Cheyenne, Cheyenne, you go ahead and speak.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, this woman who used, and I said since the beginning that these pro-Pali people, the pro-Hamas people, they come up and they use fallacies after fallacies. They use ad hominem fallacy, Raman fallacy, false comparison, false equivalency. One of the things that she used, she said, I'm Jewish, so I say everything I say is true. Everything I say against Israel is a fact. No, 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 no. I'm Persian. I'm inside Iran and I support Israel and I am a self-proclaimed Zionist. If you are anti-Israel, that doesn't make you Israeli. That makes you the enemy of Israel. So the IDF are not your soldiers. That is a fallacy. You are against the IDF. You cannot be against the IDF and then own the IDF. The IDF is not for you. You are not for the IDF. So let's be consistent and honest, which you are not. The pro-Pali, pro-Hamas people, they are anything but honest. Let's go to the other subject. Look, foreign meddling. Are you speaking of foreign meddling? Really? In 1979, it was a circus of foreigners happening inside Iran. Soviets were involved. According to the same CIA documents talking about Mossadegh, the same documents, there are hundreds of thousands of pages of the CIA documents that got declassified, and there are still many, the majority of CIA documents, about 1979, that the majority of them did not get declassified. Why? Why they did not get declassified? Let me tell you, because America was involved. According to the same documents being investigated by independent journalists from BBC, from The Guardian, which are in fact not right wing, they were not right wing. All of them said that the CIA paved the way for Khomeini to take over, and they sent an American general called General Heiser to hold back the Iranian army from taking action against Khomeini and taking back any action in favor of the Shah. An American CIA general called General Heiser, according to the CIA documents, declassified documents, were sent. He was sent to Iran on a mission. For 10 days, he was inside Iran to be sure that there's nothing happening at the hands of the Iranian army against Khomeini. He was there to be sure that Khomeini is going to take over. So according to the same CIA documents that BBC investigated, thousands of pages. It's like 150,000 pages of the documents. And also The Guardian said the same thing, same conclusion. So you're talking about foreign meddling? You're talking about foreign intervention? The entire Khomeini regime is CIA, is foreign meddling. And if you think why they took out the Shah of Iran, because the Shah stood up against the West and said, I'm not going to decrease the level of the price of oil. He said he stood up against the Western countries. He said Iran must be a superpower. That is the same words coming out of the Shah's mouth. He used the term superpower in every interview. He said that Iran must be a superpower. And we're not going to listen to the Western countries deciding for us. That is, go and watch the interviews of His Majesty the Shah. All of his words are against Western imperialism, against Western intervention in Iran's policies. He was not somebody they are trying to depict as a stooge or this and that. They are the opposites. They are the stooges that they're talking about. The Khomeini regime is a stooge. Why do you think we have all of these wars? And what do you think these wars are in favor of who? In favor of the military-industrial complex, because the reason that every war exists in the Middle East is the Khomeini regime. If you take out Khomeini regime, there is no reason for military-industrial corporations to sell weapons. If the Shah of Iran was in charge today, there was no war incentive in the Middle East. There was no incentive for the Saudis to buy all of the weapons that they are buying, spending millions and billions of dollars. So you're talking about these things. Yeah, you will lose every debate with an Iranian monarchist. So
Okay,
let me finish with this. Look,
last point.
Now, your last point is they saying Bibi is unpopular. Are you saying that? This guy has the most longevity in the history of that country, even more than David Ben-Gurion, who's the founder of the state of Israel, even more than Golda Meir. This guy is in charge of that country since 1996, on and off. And he is unpopular? Are you saying that? And
yeah,
look,
he is unpopular. He is unpopular.
He's not unpopular. Look. Israel is a parliamentary republic. It's not like America, two-party system. You have two options. You have a dementia old man and a billionaire. You have to choose between the two. If Israelis were to choose between a anti-Israel far-left loony and Bibi, you think that the majority of Israelis would choose that far-left loony?
Guys,
Of course,
Bibi is a leftist. Is working under Oslo Accord. Is not have nothing with the right.
Bibi is not leftist. You're an extremist.
He is a lefty.
Bibi is not a leftist. Bibi is a moderate, and you're an extremist. That's what you are, and we know who you are, guys. We know that you're religious people, superstitious people. We know you exist everywhere.
Okay.
Look. We know what is happening inside. We know what is happening inside Israel.
Okay,
Israel,
just like any
other country, Israel has its own
Bibi work.
far
I'm
left.
sorry.
It has
Bibi
its own
work.
superstitious people, far right,
Bibi
whatever.
work
Look,
under the Oslo agreement.
this
He's
guy.
shaking
Do
hands.
not
He's shaking
sabotage
hands
what I'm
with the
talking.
empires,
Do not
and he's not
do not
working
sabotage what
under.
I'm doing.
It doesn't
Do,
work under the interest of
let me
Israel.
finish.
I'm sorry to
Let me
break it to
finish.
you, my friend.
Let me finish. In order to be in charge of a parliamentary republic, in order to be a prime minister, you need votes. You need the majority of votes and coalition. And this guy has it, so he is the most popular according to the basic logic. If you have anything more popular, then bring up. You don't have it.
Cheyenne, I think Naftali Bennett is more popular right now. I think.
No, he is not. According to the
No,
polls,
it's
the
not.
same
No, it's
polls
not.
coming out of Israel, the same polls are saying Bibi is 53, 50 something.
But
Naftali
it
Bennett
doesn't.
is
But
by
it
far.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Naftali Bennett is also anti-Islamic Republic, anti-Hamas, and alta. Like
Yeah, of
No,
course,
I'm sorry.
of
I
course,
mean,
of course, of course. It's
Naftali
still in favor of
Naftali Bennett
Iranians. Yes.
Naftali Bennett was establishing the first Palestinian Arabic Hamas government in Israel, and that was the government before.
Guys, the
Netanyahu.
polls go up and down. Okay. One day Netanyahu
polls
is the
will
most
stay-
popular. The next day he's like less popular, and then he goes back up. It doesn't really matter. The position of Israel as a whole, regarding who the prime minister is a solid position. They stand against the Islamic Republic, Hamas, Houthis, and Israel as a whole has the correct position regarding regardless of who the prime minister is. So we don't have to fight over
And Armin,
prime minister.
these people, look, Armin, these people who were laughing when I was talking in favor of Bibi, these are the same anti-Shah people. This guy,
This guy is actually to the right of Bibi. So this guy is not to the left of Bibi. This guy is to the right of Bibi.
He is laughing
So
when
he's
I'm
like-
defending Bibi. So the same guy.
No, but
talks
he's
shit,
he's
talks-
laughing
talks
because
shit.
he's laughing because he's so right that he considers Bibi to
I'm
be a
laughing
leftist.
because you know nothing
He's
about
both
Israel.
right of Israel, perhaps.
Guys, I want to tell you a
You
few
know
things about Bibi.
nothing.
Guys, if
John,
And you're not a
few things
Zionist.
about
You
Bibi.
are
You're not a
anti-Shah.
Zionist
That
even a
is all
little
I
bit.
know. That's enough. That's
Okay.
enough.
I'm not
Wait,
an
Daniel,
anti-Shah.
Daniel,
You're an
Daniel is-
anti-Shah. You know why? Because you're not in the streets
Shut
hunting
the
Basids
fuck
right
up.
now.
Shove,
You shut the
shove,
fuck up.
shove you
We
superstitious
risked
stuff into your ass.
everything. We lost civilians. We lost money. You do nothing. You just play
Armin,
with
this guy is
your
anti-King Reza
spaces.
Pahlavi.
You
I
This
don't
do
guy
know who
is
this guy is.
nothing.
John,
This
You
guy is a
just
Ask
fraud.
support
This guy is a
Samini.
fraud.
cowards. You
John,
don't
You are a
support
fraud.
Israel.
John.
You just
He's
support
John,
Israel
disrespecting
removing
Iranian people. Get
John, do you want to have?
fuck
You
out
I
of here.
brought you up to
care
have a
about
conversation.
Israel.
John,
This
John, did you want to actually come here to have a conversation? Because we brought you up to have a conversation, but all you're doing is like, spreading. Like,
Cheyenne
do you want
started
to?
attacking me before.
Wait, who's
ببخشید
muting?
آرمین جان من
Cheyenne
یه
attacked me
لحظه
before
چیز
I said a
کردم میوت
word.
کردم
Oh, it's okay, John. Can we have a civil discussion here? Okay, can we please have a civil discussion here? Go ahead. You could open your mic and state your position and try to be respectful. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my position is like this. First of all, I'm a full-on Zionist. I'm a centric in Israel called. Okay, and first of all, the things you said about polls are totally. I don't know where you got
Okay,
it,
just
but no,
before you
I don't
respond to
care.
other people, can you state your
My
own position?
position is, I will
Yeah.
tell you my position. My position is that I want the RGC gone, I want the Ayatollah regime gone, and I want Iran not to have a civil war. I want Iran to have peace with Israel. However, after listening to hours and hours and hours of monarchist propaganda, all you made is alienate me and make yourself a joke. All you have done is alienate me, and I don't care about the monarchists
you supported
anymore.
separatists. You supported
I
separatists.
don't.
That's why. Because we are patriots.
Cheyenne,
Don't put
let me see.
words
Cheyenne,
in my mouth,
let me see
little
what
boy.
this is about. Cheyenne, let me actually see what this guy is about. Okay, so
I'm
what
telling
is?
you, I
He is
was on
anti-Shah. I don't care.
Johnny
Let,
and Goldie's
Cheyenne, let
faces
me
for
have a
hours,
conversation with him.
for
John, can you?
days. I was
John,
on Johnny's
John,
and
can you try to be a little bit more respectful? Because when the way you speak, you're alienating other people. Like you're like, oh,
I
you're
don't
losing
care.
me. Okay, then why are you wasting your time then? Because
Because
you're
he's the
like
chaos agent of
hold on,
Islamic Republic regime.
Shayan, let
to
me
tell
actually
you
have a
the
conversation.
truth.
John, let's have a civil discussion here, okay? You're saying other people are losing you, okay? But if you don't care about other people opinion on you, then you're not, it doesn't matter if we lose you, because you don't care about opinions of others. You don't care about talking in a way where people could respect your position. So losing you wouldn't be a
Incorrect.
loss. So
Incorrect.
can you
Incorrect.
respectfully tell us what? Okay, see, like
Yes,
you're not
it's incorrect.
okay. Can you tell us?
Yes,
Can you
I
tell us
can.
what your position is? Okay, why?
Yes, I told you what my position is. I want the RGC gone. I want Khamenei dead. I
Yeah.
want a new regime in Iran without a civil war. I want a peace with Iran.
So here's the thing.
That's what I want.
So what is your
However,
opinion on forget the monarchists? Forget the monarchists. What's your opinion on Prince Reza Pahlavi and why?
My position is that he would obviously be a good ally of Israel. If I am an Israeli selfish person, yeah, I would like him to be popular and peacefully ruling Iran. Yeah, that's my
Okay,
position.
so when it comes to
However,
Iranians, let me actually educate. So you know more. You know more
no,
about
don't educate
Israel.
me. I've heard so much monarchist propaganda, and this is exactly why I don't want to hear what you have to say.
I'm not a
That's
monarchist.
exactly why.
I'm not a
Okay.
monarchist.
Okay.
I'm not a monarchist.
But I have heard so much about how much the
Tell me
IRGC is
something.
bad, and I've heard so many hours of you telling
What's
me.
the
So you're not making
propaganda?
John. You're
Just
not
state the
John.
propaganda.
John,
He's
you're not
chaos
making any
agent of the
points.
regime.
Shayan, you're
You
not making any points. That doesn't
stuffed
help. You saying that
propaganda
doesn't help.
down
John,
throat
you're not
for
making any points.
months.
John, you're not
I'm
making
making
any
a point.
points.
I am making a point.
You're
The
just
point I'm
repeating a
making is
claim. You're
you
you're
don't let me
repeating a claim
speak
without
because you
John.
don't let me speak. Do you want to let me
Okay,
speak?
okay. I let you
He
speak,
said
but
to you
all
he
you
is
do
not a
is
monarchist,
repeat.
but
Mary,
you
just
keep
let
go on.
guys. You're not letting me. Guys, you're not letting me. I'm John. Every
You're
time
not
I gave you the opportunity to speak, you just say that monarchists. You're tired. You listen to hours and hours of monarchist
because you don't
propaganda
let me make my second sentence. Do you
because you
want
keep
to hear
repeating the
it
first
or
sentence. Go ahead and
not?
make your second. Go ahead and say your
Okay,
second
so I
sentence.
will tell you exactly why it is relevant to remind you of these propaganda that I've heard. Because after Trump was elected, I was hearing max pressure. We're going to the streets on January 20th. Then Assad felt, yeah, they won't be able to send Hezbollah and the Assad troops, and yeah, and we are going to the streets on the January 20th. Then January 20th came and you did nothing. And then the 12-day war came and you did nothing. And the first time I heard the word Basij was after the 12-day war when you didn't go to the streets and you just made excuses, and that made you laughable. I mean, I'm talking about the monarchists. That make you laughable. You're not a real resistant group. Where is your armed resistance? Where are your militias? Where are you hunting Basij people right now? Where are you? Why aren't you on the streets hunting them down one by one? We took out the entire leadership of the IRGC. We crippled them in so many ways. And we lost 30 people. I pay taxes to fund this. Why aren't you doing anything? You don't care about Israel. All you care about is your own regime change. You don't care about Israel. You are not Zionists. All you care about is regime change. If Afghanistan would have been the likely candidate, you would support Afghanistan. That's what I'm thinking after hearing so many bullshit propaganda from monarchists mostly, but also from others. And the last time, Donny suggested that we will bomb Khamenei. Yeah, Israel in our diplomatic situation, we are going to eliminate a recognized UN member leader. Yeah, that's for sure you want us to fly Reza Pahlavi on a magic carpet into a palace in Tehran. That's what you want. You don't care about Israel. Why the Cyrus Accord? Why not the Ezra and Nehemiah Accords? Why not the Ezra and Nehemiah Accords? Do you know who Ezra and Nehemiah is? You don't even know who they are. All you care is about yourself. You don't care about Israel. All you care is that Israel is the only one who is doing anything about against the RGC. That's what you care about. That's my finishing line. Thank you very much. You will never revolt. Live under live under Khamenei, and if you do
You are the
revolt,
chaos
I will
agent of Islamic
apologize.
Oh my
Republic
God,
regime.
Cheyenne,
You
let the
see,
man
I am a
speak.
chaos agent of Islamic
Okay,
Republic. That's what I am, because I'm not obeying
okay,
to
John,
Cheyenne.
thank you.
Cheyenne, Gina Amini, Gina Amini, not Masa Amini. Gina Amini, go eat yourself.
Didn't I tell you they support separatists?
I don't support separatists. I support poking
That
you
is the
because you're an
separatist talking
asshole.
point. That is separatist talking
No,
point.
that is a poking talking point because I don't care about you specifically. You
You are
told me after
anti-Iranian chaos agent of the Islamic regime.
you're making ad
Cheyenne,
hominem attacks
Cheyenne, you
without any
cannot go around
basis.
and tell
I made
everyone
case
that
Sir,
they are
just
perfectly
stay out of
agents.
it.
clear.
Okay, John. Okay, so John, you finished, right? You finished.
Yes.
So everything. Okay, so all you said was that you saw some monarchists suggesting that after the attack, people will come into the streets after the 12-day war, and nothing happened.
No,
And
20
you,
of January, the inauguration day of Trump.
okay,
That's
John.
how they
John, I
started.
didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you.
But I'm
Did you
correcting
not?
your sexual error.
Okay, correct me again then.
After Trump elected, the monarchists resonated that they are going to the street as soon as much pressure is returning.
After Trump did what? Trump didn't do anything with the monarchists.
The monarchists said that once Trump installs the max pressure again, they will go to the streets.
Okay, so I don't know which
He
monarchist
did.
told you that.
Johnny and
So,
Goldie's spaces, they held daily spaces for months.
John, first of all, the maximum pressure is not there yet. Even actually, Trump's policy is actually appeasement of the Islamic Republic, not maximum pressure.
Of course,
Let me, John, let me actually respond to you because I was holding everybody back so that you could finish your sentences. Like you notice, right? People were trying to interrupt you, and I was trying to let you finish. So, if you want to correct me, then come in and tell me if I get anything wrong about what you said. Just come in and correct me. But I just want to understand you, and I want you to understand me as well. Okay? So, as an Iranian, I could tell you that most Iranians didn't know if Iranians will come out or not after the 12-day war. If you heard some monarchists tell you that, that doesn't represent that. We were advertising that it would be good if the Iranian people came out, but none of us knew what's going to happen, right? None of us knew. And also, the Iranian people have came out so many times trying to topple the regime, and they have paid a really heavy price for it. The Iranian people have came out many, many times before, and the Islamic Republic has massacred them. It has tortured them. It has raped them. It has threatened their family because so many Iranians are sacrificing their lives trying to topple the regime, and the regime can't even threaten them by killing them. They go after their families, so they threaten their families.
Propaganda.
But if you cannot say like, oh, you're not going to come into the streets. The Iranian people have came into the streets again and again and again, but they're not armed.
So why
they
not
have
now?
no weapons. They have no weapons. Hold on one second. They have
Did
no
they
weapons.
have weapons in 2022?
But they came out. Multiple times.
Okay, so you're contradicting yourself.
No, because that actually confirms what I'm saying. Because I'm saying they tried and they saw that they are without being armed against the regime. The only result of coming out was blood and torture and rape.
So where are the militias? The diaspora
we don't have weapons.
$2.5 trillion.
John, we don't have
Where
weapons.
are the militias? Yes.
We don't have
Why
the
don't
only
you
people.
smuggle them from Azerbaijan? Why don't you smuggle them from Afghanistan? Why don't you
mean,
do anything?
Because we are not terrorists. That's why.
No, John, hold on, Cheyenne.
Okay, so
Cheyenne.
live under
John,
Khamenei and shut the fuck up.
John, talk to me, okay? The thing is that the Iranian people have tried so many things, okay? The Islamic Republic has such a tight grip on the population. It's not like if you think that they haven't tried, then how come so many of them have been massacred by the Islamic Republic? Obviously, they have tried. That's why the Islamic Republic kills and tortures them. Right, and
Is
also
the Islamic Republic in its weakest point right now?
Yes, but not against the Iranian people.
So why not try again?
John, the Islamic Republic is the strongest against the Iranian people. It's the weakest against Israel and foreign forces. But it's in the strongest position it has ever been against the Iranian people. It's forced. It has actually mastered the art of suppressing the Iranian people. It could only fight the Iranian people and no other force. That's what the only thing that it's good at. And also, when you say Iranians don't care about Israel, and then you said you don't care about Iranians, I don't say don't care.
I didn't say I
everyone...
don't care about Iranians. I said I don't care about the monarchist propagandists.
Okay, so first of all, here's the thing: it's a fallacy to do a generalization of monarchists. Okay, there are the monarchists in Iran. I say this as a Republican myself. I'm a monarchist. Okay, but the monarchists in Iran are so many. There are millions of them. You're going to meet some good ones. You're going to meet some bad ones. You're going to tell them. You're going to meet some of them with good analysis. You're going to meet some of them with bad analysis. You're going to meet some of them that are skeptical and don't know what to think. Okay, so if you, for example, have met some monarchists that came up with a prediction that didn't come true, it's not a good idea to generalize that to all monarchists. Okay, and again, right now the politics in Iran is not about who's a Republican and who's a monarchist. Right now, the main unity that we're trying to create in Iran is about who supports Prince Reza Pahlavi and who doesn't, regardless of whether or not they're a monarchist or a Republican. Okay, and you agreed that Prince Reza Pahlavi is a good alternative to the Islamic Republic, and he's also a friend of Israel. So it's not about whether we have mutual benefits. There's a mutual interest here. Okay, so you don't have to rely on whether or not Iranian people love Israel or don't love Israel, or whether you care for Iran or don't care for Iran. The thing is that at this moment, it would be better for you and for us for the Islamic Republic to go.
I love it when you try to convince us what our interests are. You do that.
I
all
don't
the
have
time.
to. I don't have to convince you. I don't have to convince you.
Or not.
I don't have to convince you. I just have to listen to your politicians and to your people. I'm not telling you anything. I'm listening.
We
to you,
know our
actually,
interests,
not you.
But
So,
it's funny how
I don't
you
think.
say it.
I don't think
it's
you.
your
I don't, John. I
interest
don't.
to go
With
to
all due
war
respect.
against the RGC,
With all due
but
respect.
it's not the Iranian people's interest to go to the streets. That's so funny. I want to meet one brave monarchist. One brave monarchist.
I have to chime in here. Armin.
I could tell you. You know the image that Cheyenne has. Okay, that's an image. That's not his image. That's an image of a
I know
brave
who
monarchist.
the guy is. I don't remember the name, but I know who the guy is. Yeah,
His name is Majid Reza Rahnavard. He died. He was executed for standing against the Islamic Republic. He was a monarchist, and when they were executing him, moments before he died, he stood up defiantly against the Islamic Republic. So, if you want to meet a brave monarchist, that was Majid Reza Rahnavard was one of them, and he was executed for it. So there you go. That's one
I
brave
didn't
monarchist
meet.
for you.
I want to meet a brave monarchist to go to the streets with weapons. Yeah,
He did.
you're not
Majid
a
Reza
terrorist, but
Rahnavard
you're
was
not willing to
Majid Reza
Armin,
Rahnavard
let me say something.
Majid Reza Rahnavard was a
You
monarchist
laugh
who
at
went into
us. You laugh at you laugh
Majid
at
Reza.
our
Hold on, Mary.
traitor.
Let me finish one sentence. Majid Reza Rahnavard was a brave monarchist who went into the streets with a weapon and he killed IRGC members. Go on, Mary. What do you want to say?
Yes, because he is. Do you think we are jokes here? Do you think we are jokes? Do you think you have a
I
land
think the
and we don't have a
monarchists
land?
are
Do you
jokes.
think you are
Yes.
the only one that think about his land? What is
No,
this
I
seriously?
just think
What do
the
you think? You
monarchists
take us
are
for
are a
joke?
joke.
You take us for joke? Do you know I went in prison? I have
The
had some,
monarchists I
and they
take for
raped
a
me.
joke.
Let
Yes.
They
her
raped me.
speak.
They
Let
did
her speak.
everything
She's
to
a
me, and you
monarchist.
say to me, I didn't do anything. Who
I'm
are
sorry
you?
for your
Who dare you?
specific.
So many people here also.
I'm sorry for your personal experience.
Yes,
However,
personal experience, because I
my
was
experience
against the regime,
with
because I am a
monarchists
monarchist.
is
Do you understand that?
okay.
Don't take us for
Mary is
joke.
a
I
monarchist.
understand it.
Don't take us for
So,
joke.
so are you inside Iran right now, Mary? If you are allowed to say, if you are allowed to say.
Okay, I don't know if she should say that right now. I don't think that's.
Okay, if
I
she
don't think we should
doesn't,
ask
okay,
her.
that's fine. But if a person has been abused so much, and I know how much the Iranian people have been abused by the RGC, I've heard it so many times. Wouldn't you want to go on the street and risk something?
Do you think
You
we don't
want a
want to take a gun
riskless
and go to street?
revolution?
Do you think we don't want that? Do you think we can do that when IRGC have so many
Cheyenne said you
weapons?
don't
Do you
want
think
to.
we can do
Cheyenne
that?
said you don't want. Yes, I think you can, and
If you
I'm
support
disappointed
that, you
that you
don't
don't.
have to make a joke from us, and you don't have say blame us, or you don't have to say bad things about monarchies. You don't know Prince Reza Pahlavi.
46,
He's our hope. You don't
46
have a
years.
right to make a joke from him.
Where are his militias? Where are there? Where are the armed resistance?
Militias. Do you
Where
think
is it?
we want to be as a Gaza and Israel? You don't have you are
You
not in
control
right mind.
yourself.
You have to
You contradict yourself.
right. You have to think right about people,
I
You
have to
and
chime
contradict.
make
in
a
here.
joke.
I'm
Don't
sorry,
make a
guys.
joke
I have a
from
response.
the people that fight for freedom.
I'm
It's
sorry. I would like
disgusting.
to.
You
I
It's
would like
don't
to
fight
disgusting.
for
respond to
freedom.
Johan.
That's exactly the point. You don't fight.
Here's the
Fight.
deal.
Kick
Fight.
out this guy.
Fight.
I'm just
Kick out this
chiming
guy.
in here.
Enough is
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Cheyenne, fuck you. Shut up.
Hold up, guys.
Boy,
Johan. Actually,
you're
I've
gonna
spoken to
live under
Johan
Khamenei
before.
because
Hold
you're
on.
a pussy.
Hold up,
Let
Johan.
Messi speak. Messi, go ahead.
I've spoken to Johan before. He actually supports the Iranian resistance and like everybody who's against the Iranian regime. And what this conversation is about is, I think he's trying to kind of motivate us to kind of unite and do this uprising. And Johan, there was a meeting yesterday in Toronto where His Highness Reza Pahlavi, the King of Iran, kind of united everybody again. And you're seeing everything he's done so far, like come to the screens now. Like we're getting like a overview of what's about to come. And what we're gonna witness very soon in the coming months is gonna be the worst nightmare for the IRGC and Khamenei. So everything, all these
Don't
holdups
make
has been
promises.
these are
Don't
not
make
just
promises.
promises. These are not just promises.
You don't know the future. We
Um
don't know.
Masih,
what I
I
know
told
what
you
I know
if
is
you
that we are
remember.
united. We are more united today. We are shaping new teams. We are planning new movements. And in the coming months, IRGC will witness its worst nightmare through the
Don't do
hands of
that.
Iranian people.
I
And
hope
if
you're
anybody
correct with
here
it.
agrees with me, you go home and you start uniting with your neighbors, and you take this as a
So,
motivation to do this uprising and get rid of this IRGC entity for good. Because we don't
okay.
need we
Masih,
I,
don't need anybody to
okay.
come help us. We can do
No,
it
we
by
I think I
ourselves.
told you
we do.
one sentence. One
Actually,
sentence,
that's not right.
Armin.
We do. We are unarmed. The Iranian people have spent so much of their blood fighting a very, very armed regime, and we don't even like. And also, John, you don't speak for Israelis. Most Israelis in my chat are actually saying that they support the Iranian people and they don't
I
agree with
support the
John.
Iranian people.
I
You don't
okay,
listen
yeah,
to what I
no,
say, and
okay, but
what
they
I
don't
and
all
also
agree. They don't
say, and
agree. No,
Masih
sorry,
can
listen. You don't let me
I also
finish.
say that if I
You don't
see
let
a
me finish.
monarchist uprising, I will apologize to
What? It's
every
not about
single
monarchists,
monarchist.
John. You don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, it's not about monarchists. It's about supporters of Prince Reza Pahlavi. It's not about monarchism. We're not fighting for monarchism. Okay, we're fighting for a referendum. We're fighting for Iranian people being able to choose what they want, whatever
I
it
know.
so like you keep talking about monarchists. Look, there's
Because
so many
I
monarchists.
call
Listen, let me
okay,
talk.
okay, I
John,
call
let me
every
talk.
Reza
Let me
Pahlavi
talk. John,
supporter
John,
monarchist.
please,
Okay.
please be respectful. Like I try to let you speak. Please show me the same respect, right? Look, for example, I'm a Republican, and also Mr. Haider here is also a Republican. He's actually one of the members of the Republican Party in favor of Prince Reza Pahlavi, and all of these monarchists are sitting next to us Republicans in favor of supporting Prince Reza Pahlavi. So you keep talking about monarchists and monarchists. We are united in our support for Prince Reza Pahlavi. This is not about monarchism. This is about trying to get rid of the regime. And we, with our experience, we know that the Iranian people like Majid Reza Rahnamar, people like Mary, people like Nika, people like Sarina, they have paid so much trying to take the regime down. And like it's insanity to keep trying the same method over and over and over again when it doesn't work. And
Even
he
if
don't, John,
the playground
let me finish.
changes.
Let me finish, please. Please have enough respect to do the same thing that I did to you, which I let you finish, right? So, and we are not asking Israel to do anything. It's not like Israel comes and listens to us. Like it's ridiculous. Like, oh, why are you asking Israel to do this and this? Like, do you think like we're delusional to think that the Israel army is coming and waiting for us to request what the Israel army does? No, we just
Yes.
understand. No, you're okay. So see, you're not
I
civilized enough
heard
to actually let me.
myself people asking
You're
us
not
to send the
civilized
IF
enough to
to
let me finish.
eliminate
You're not.
Khamenei.
You
I
cannot
heard
have a
it
civilized
with my
discussion,
own ears.
John. You cannot have a civilized discussion with me. Okay. You keep your experience with
Because
some
I
people
won't
online,
listen to any more
John.
propaganda from any Reza
I'm not.
Pahlavi supporter.
Okay. See, now you're saying Prince is a Pahlavi supporter. Okay. So
Yeah,
you
because
are
I
doing.
said monarchist and you're saying not monarchist.
Okay.
I'm
So
putting all
good.
the
Good.
Reza
You're listening.
Pahlavi
Good.
supporters under the same umbrella. Okay. So
Okay. So
now I'm gonna say Reza
that's a
Pahlavi
hasty
supporters.
that's a hasty generalization just because you see some experience with some people. Prince Reza Pahlavi supporters are millions and millions of people with a diversity of opinions. You're just trying to come here and I don't know, trigger people to just to get a kick out of it. You do not represent Israel. You do not represent
No,
most of
I'm
the
here
position of
to
Israeli people.
express my
Ju-
frustration with
yeah,
your bullshit
your
for
frustration is
months that I
your
bought.
frustration is bullshit, and it doesn't represent Israel. It doesn't represent the Israeli people. The
It
bond between the
represents
people of Iran.
me and my
John, John.
frustration with what I saw
Okay,
from
John,
you
you're not.
guys.
Okay, John, you have to let people speak. Okay, and because you can't, I'm gonna actually I'm forced to turn you into a listener because you are not civilized enough to actually let other people finish their points. Okay. So I removed you as a speaker because I give you so many opportunities to have a respectful discussion. You do not represent Israel. You do not represent the Israeli people. The Israeli people are becoming the bond between the people of Iran and people of Israel is growing day by day. Most Israelis in my chat are actually disagreeing with you. Most Iranians have love the people of Israel, and most Israelis are love the people of Iran. And this bond is getting stronger in spite of bullshit coming from people like John, right? And also the position that we have here, at least I have here, I don't know if the rest of you disagree, is that we Iranian people don't expect anything from Israel. We do not demand anything from Israel. We're just observing what's happening. And we are observing that Israel, for its own self-interest, is trying to neutralize the threat to itself for its own national interest. And that threat is the Islamic Republic. And we Iranian people benefit from that. We benefit from Israel taking out its main enemy. So we are not asking for anything. We're not requesting anything. We're just noticing this, and we are trying to figure out exactly what is what is the best position for us, given that this seems to be coming, right? Given that we don't have the weapons to fight the Islamic Republic, and a very powerful entity called the IDF has the weapons and the strength to fight the Islamic Republic, we are deciding what is the best thing for us to do, given that this seems to be happening at some point. Given that an entity much more powerful than us will at some point attack the Islamic Republic. And we also have noticed on top of that, that even though even though Israel has the weapons to fight the Islamic Republic, it doesn't have the boots on the ground. So it makes sense for us to have a partnership here, given that we lack the arms, we lack the weapons to fight the Islamic Republic, and Israel lacks the boots on the ground. There is a mutual benefit in them weakening the Islamic Republic to the point where the Islamic Republic cannot oppress the Iranian people anymore. And again, they were about to do that. John pretends like Israel finished the job during the 12-day war, so the Iranian people should have done the rest. But Israel didn't get to finish the job. Israel was not able to finish the job because Trump stopped Israel. Israel first, when it came to Iran, first it removed the threats to itself, which makes sense because Israel should prioritize eliminating all the threats to Israel. And then once it was done with that, then it was moving on to removing all the forces against the Iranian people, all the politicians and the anti-riot forces. And if Trump didn't get in the way, maybe the Iranian people would then be able to come and topple the regime, because of all those forces that were between them and the regime would have been removed by Israel. But Trump didn't let that happen. So no, Israel didn't finish the job in Iran, and the Iranian people are the anti-riot. Yes, the Islamic Republic's ability to attack Israel, Hamas and Houthis and Hezbollah, they all have been weakened. All the things that could threaten Israel have been weakened, but the anti-riot forces in Iran, they haven't been weakened. They're stronger than ever. Not only they're not weaker, the Islamic Republic doesn't have much money anymore doesn't have any place to send them its money anymore when it comes to proxies. And because it knows that it's going to be toppled by the Iranian people, it's quadrupling its investments into its anti-riot forces, because that's now the only barrier between itself and it's being toppled. So the anti-riot forces in Iran are actually much stronger than ever before. And imagine after the 12-day war, a couple of times Iranian people tried to come into the streets to protest, and the Islamic Republic filled the streets with armies of people, with anti-riot forces, with heavy anti-riot gear, and with anti-riot vehicles, and so many. It's like, imagine coming into the streets for the protest, and you see for every individual there is 10 soldiers, 10 anti-riot forces in the streets present. It's really pathetic for people to just stand from outside and tell people why Iranian people are not doing this and that. Imagine one person going into the street and standing against 10 very armed soldiers, and again having the experience of remembering the experience of other prisoners being raped in prison, men and women being raped in prison, because the regime realizing that killing them is not going to scare them, so raping them and then releasing them is going to scare other. That's the type of tools that the Islamic Republic uses against protesters. This is why so many of the protesters so many of the people who were fighting in the last waves of protests in Iran actually killed themselves after they were released from prison, because the Islamic Republic does the methods of torture that the Islamic Republic uses in prison is so damaging that it means to send a message to other people. Like, so many Iranian people are so brave that the Islamic Republic only uses rape and threats of killing your family as a way to stop you, because threatening your life has not been enough. This is what the Iranian people are dealing with. And it's so disgusting that somebody who doesn't have to deal with any of this is standing from outside and telling people why the Iranian people are not doing this and that.
I mean, there yesterday, a 20 years old boy was had a self-murd, self-murd because of that. He was 17 in by Mahsa Amini, and yeah, they didn't know what happened in jail, and after 3 years, he did self-murd yesterday. 20
Took
years
his own life.
guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So I don't know what happens in prison after they take you, but so many Iranians, after they were released, they whatever happened to them, they took their own life. So yeah, it's insanity. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're like, oh, why are Iranian people, as if they haven't tried, as if they haven't gone through this again and again and again and again, with little to show for. And it makes sense for the when, and also, why would the Iranian people come into the streets when they keep hearing in the news that Israel is going to attack the Islamic Republic? Okay, if I'm in Iran, if I hear that news, I'm like, okay, then we should wait for that to happen first. Like, imagine if I come into the streets and I get killed, and then Israel attacks and the Islamic Republic is toppled. That's a waste of my life. So obviously, if the Islamic Republic is about to get hit significantly, it makes sense for me to wait for that attack to happen, so that the protest happens at the point where the Islamic Republic is weaker than it is right now. Given that people are predicting that that's about to happen, it doesn't make sense for me to do the protest when the Islamic Republic is strong. I want to do it when they're weaker, given that Israel is going to be doing something like this, apparently. Given that that's everyone's prediction. So it doesn't make strategic sense. What makes strategic sense is the Iranian people to rely on the weapons that Israel have, and Israel to rely on the final push that the Iranian people will have to make to push the regime off the cliff, right? So because no matter how much air superiority you have, that is never going to be enough to topple the regime. That's only good enough to weaken the regime to the point where the Iranian people could take care of the rest of the job. But the regime is not weak enough right now for the Iranian people to fight back against it. Not even close. So it's an insane ask. Okay, so Mary, who's the next person that wants to speak? Because we're way over time.
I think Masi, and we have also 7 October. He is disagree with us. Said.
Okay, Messi, can you keep it short? And 7 October, and then who else? Also Mr. Haydar wants to speak as well. Okay, Messi
is
really
also really long, and Joseph have to speak too.
Joseph. Okay, guys, nobody else. Don't bring anyone else up. Okay, Messi, go ahead.
All right, I want to keep it short. Armin, the frustration comes that, like, now the Iranian regime is at its weakest point. They're literally blindsided. Like, all right, one of the good arguments that you brought up is that, yeah, it was dangerous to go out during the 12-day war, but after the 12-day war, they are absolutely blind because their data center, their intelligence units are gone. The people who were
You have an audio issue. Just 1 second.
unit, people who call for, like, we need people to lead us, like tell us where to go to meet up, or like get organized. And like this is what I expected from people who are outside of Iran, is to like create war rooms. Essentially, we have to be brutal. We have to be brutal with the IRGC. There's no
that's not the
justification
time.
for what they did.
The Prince's
The time
team
has
that
already
said that's
passed,
not the
Armin.
time.
It's already passed. That
Not according to the team of the Prince. So that
Well,
is
I
not
wouldn't
the
know
time.
about that.
Go
He can update us on that.
go listen to the interview of Amir Tamadi on Nejat Bahrami's YouTube channel. Go listen to that. I trust our leader, so go check that out and go trust the team. So yeah, go look at that and let me know what you think after. Okay, so 7 October, what did you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I agree with Johan, who just spoke, and also a bit with you, but you repeated the same point like 5 times. Like, I agree with you that protesting does not work, and it was maybe a mistake to call for the people to protest against this regime because it was just a waste. And yeah, there were instances in history where protests have worked to topple the regime, but it had reasons. Like, the reason was that the people who had arms were on the side of the people when it worked. But here in this case, protesting doesn't work. So Johan has actually a point that you need an armed resistance, you need militias, and I believe you should be more self-critical.
But we don't have guns. Where do we get the guns?
You don't let me finish. You just criticize people.
No, I'm okay. I'm
agree
just
with you that-
asking you where. I'm
Yeah.
asking you a question so you could finish.
Yeah, I don't have the perfect solutions for it. All I can say is that you have to be more self-critical and more reflect on what he said. And yeah, there was like, how do you get guns? I mean, there was a time before 1948 when the Jews didn't have the state of Israel, and they lived under Arabs and under the British, and they somehow managed to do it. I don't know how. I'm not an expert on that, but you have to address this issue more. At least I believe it.
Okay, can I respond? Okay, first of all, the Jews are a great example because the Jews were not armed and they didn't manage to save themselves until the World War II, where armed armies came and saved them. Okay, so like if you actually look at your own history during the Holocaust, many people.
I'm not a Jew.
Okay, so the history of the Jews, if you refer to the Jews, okay, so if you look at during the Holocaust, for example, in concentration camps, there were for every Nazi officer, there were so many Jews, but yet there was very little act of resistance against the Nazis because the Nazis were armed and the Jews weren't armed. So if you actually, that's a good point that I should have mentioned where John was here. Because
But you're supposedly not a minority, like the Jews were in Germany.
You need to. So now you see, you don't let me finish. You see that now? Okay, so you let me finish now. Okay, so the Jews managed to get saved once armed armies came to their rescue. So, and also you could look at other examples of in history as well. Like the French people were under Nazi occupation. They weren't able to save themselves until the Americans showed up with their weapons, and even the Americans weren't able to save themselves from the British until the French showed up and supported them. So there's so many examples in history that you could see that many people who wanted to, they needed outside support. And you say you need to be self-critical. You're saying that with the assumption that we're not. So that shows that you have very little understanding of Iranian politics, because all we do is criticize each other. If you were even slightly familiar with the current politics in the Iranian opposition, you would actually have the opposite criticism for us. You were like, if you actually knew, if you were aware of the environment in the Iranian opposition, you would actually recommend that stop. You need to be less self-critical. Like, you're like, guys, like, this is too much criticism. This is not healthy. If you were actually even slightly aware of what we're doing right now, the Iranian opposition is doing. So this just comes from a position of lack of awareness. And also when it comes to getting access to weapons, this has been discussed, analyzed, attempted in so many, like, anybody who says that just shows up without actually knowing about our history and our attempts, doesn't understand all the struggles that we have gone through and how tight of a grip the Islamic Republic has over the Iranian people. So asking the Iranian people to just bring in weapons, like, yes, you're like, I know it's a challenge, yeah, but it's such a it's such a challenge that the Iranian people who have gladly went and give their lives to fight the regime weren't able to get their hands on weapons. So it can't be for the lack of trying, because these people died. We have so many Iranians who have died and have been executed and have been tortured and have been raped for the attempt of toppling the regime. So given that the Iranian people have tried this much, it cannot be that getting access to weapons to topple the regime was just something that just required a little bit more of an effort, and that's what's missing here. Given if you actually look at the effort that was put in into removing the Islamic Republic, I think a lack of motivation and a lack of effort is not what is causing all of this. I see Sword wants to respond to this, because Sword, why
Yeah,
are
I
you
want
not
to just add, you said one thing that was false. There was French armed resistance against the Nazis. And I agree with the rest that you said. So it's okay.
No. I didn't. Okay, you didn't listen to me. I didn't say the French were not armed. I say the French were not able until a much more armed army came in and supported them. So actually, that supports my point. If you want to say that, well, the Americans were armed too against the British. Okay, but that actually supports my point, because even armed people were not good enough to get their freedom. So even the armed French people that weren't armed enough could not topple the Nazis, and the Americans had to come and help them. And even the armed Americans were not good enough to free themselves from the British Empire, and the French had to come help them. So imagine if the armed French and the armed Americans needed support, foreign help, then the unarmed Iranians, then what do they need? That actually supports my point. So, Sword, what did you want to say?
I wanted to say that the Israelis have an enemy that is the Islamic Republic, and the people of Iran have an enemy that is the Islamic Republic. They can topple the regime and change the regime, Israeli by themselves, and we can do that alone. So, isn't better to work together? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to support
you're
Israel.
right.
And
we both right. Like, we both need each other. Just like we don't have weapons, Israel doesn't have boots on the ground. So we could cooperate. Like, we both have the thing that the other side doesn't have. Gray Bush, you were waiting for a while. You want to say something?
Yeah, sure. I think what's not being discussed here, and what's, in my opinion, fairly apparent, is that for a violent uprising to be successful, you need a lot of conditions to be met. And just by looking from the outside at Iran, I don't see those conditions. Like, I think of the U.S., the Revolutionary War against the British, and there's a lot of categories that aligned, that enabled that violent uprising to be successful. You had unity of leadership. You had an armed citizenry. You had a lot of foreign aid coming in from France, right? The military morale was there. Everybody was loyal to the cause. The economy, the Americans, they were independent. The agriculture and trade, they weren't dependent on the state. The ideology was there. You look at Iran, and you see a lot of conditions that need to be fixed before you could even consider going with the violent revolution. The fragmentation in Iran, the disarmed public. The IRGC they're ideologically entrenched. They terrify people. I saw a movie, The Seed of the Sacred Fig Tree. And I think it's a great movie for people to watch, to get an understanding of what's going on in Iran and the terror that people live in. And it's just so it's not fair to say that the Iranians aren't doing enough, because what that's saying is, oh, you're not committing suicide, so you're a propagandist. That's an absurd argument. It's absolutely absurd. You can't make that argument in good faith. You want to see how, what the Iranian people are doing? They're being executed and imprisoned in massive numbers every year. That shows that the Iranian government is terrified of its own people and is using so many resources that the only thing it could effectively do is repress its own people. So I think it's not helpful for Israelis to come on here and start calling their own allies propagandists. It's unproductive. It's harmful. I think the only thing that could be done is for the Iranians and the Israelis and other outside forces to do everything possible to unite to achieve their one aim, which is to get rid of the IRGC. And that's the only thing that's important, and everything else is unproductive. And that's just my 2 cents. Thanks.
Okay, that was good. So guys, let me just do the person that hasn't spoken at all, which is Juje Kalak, and then Cheyenne, and then let's call
Yes.
it, because I have been this has been too long. So Juje Kalak, keep it short, and then Cheyenne, and then we could go.
Yeah, thank you, Armin, for letting me speak. On the matter of your topic, I would say I support Israel and its legitimate right to defend itself against the terrorists, and especially on October 7, I think Israel has the right to defend itself against the terrorists, considering those terrorists are being supported. Let us not forget that Hamas came to power through elections. So I consider many of Gaza's terrorist supporters. There are some minorities that are against Hamas, but most of the Gazans supports Hamas. So I consider them terrorists too. It doesn't matter whether they are civilians, they have used a gun or not. For me, they are just terrorists. And many Iranians in Iran are considered the Palestinians terrorists.
Okay. So, okay, the way I look at it, I consider the word Gazan and Palestinian to be separate. I think Palestine is not the name of a country or a place. I think Palestine is the name of a. Yes, we can hear you. But can you? Okay, you're.
I have a very bad connection. Sorry.
Hold on, let me actually move you to speaker because I don't want you to open your mic.
Okay.
Thank you. So, you're welcome. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, even if a Gazan civilian supports terrorism, technically by the definition of terrorism, it's not enough to call them a terrorist just because they support terrorism. They're just a person with shitty ideas. And also, but Palestine is the name of a terroristic movement. That's why I call the people in Gaza Gazans, not Palestinian. Cheyenne, last point.
You're very right about it. Look, the term Palestine is not even Arabic or Islamic. The term it refers to the nomad people, ancient Philistinians, who were Greek-like culture, nomad culture. They were not Romans. They were pre-Roman people.
No, it's a name given by the Romans. I mean,
exactly. The Romans used the name of those people because those people were raiding Jews on and off in their entire history, and they were attacking Jews and their civilization because they didn't have one. They didn't have a kingdom. They didn't have civilization. There is no record of them having a script, for example. They didn't have a script. Jews had Aramaic, Hebrew script, but these people didn't have a civilization. They didn't have anything. They didn't have wealth. They were not producing anything. They were just fishing and doing stuff like that. They had to attack and raid Jews because Jews had money. Jews had production and everything. So the Romans, in order to insult the Jews, used the term Palestine for their province, Syria, Palestina. So that's not even Arabic. So it's very funny because the Arabs claim that they are native, but the entire would-be country of them has non-Arabic, non-native names. So these inconsistencies, illogical stuff is compelling. Let's go back to this guy. Look, I was not born yesterday. I've been my activism was started in 2012. It's like it was 4 years. I am in these spaces for years, and I know who this guy was. This guy was going to spaces and spaces, talking.
Who, John?
Yeah, Johan. He was going to spaces and spaces, talking shit against the territorial integrity of Iran. He was in pan-Kurdish separatist spaces. Look, he's saying, I'm tired of monarchist propaganda. They say that they have a lot of support, but yeah, they don't. Okay, if you say that, why are you going to pan-Kurdish separatist spaces that their politician, the Kurdish politicians outside Iran, are all of them, like 100% of them, in bed with the IRGC? Barzani never recognized Israel, the state of Israel. He doesn't go to Tel Aviv meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. He goes to Tehran kissing the Ayatollah's ass. Those are the Kurdish politicians. And the SDF, the chief of the commander-in-chief of the SDF, the Syrian Kurdish movement, this guy went to Tehran to express his condolences for Raisi's, the regime's president's death when his helicopter crashed. So you have these people, and you're in the space of these pan-Kurdish, ethnocentric, ethnic Nazis. You go to these separatist chaos agents of the regime who are in bed with the IRGC. They made the Iraqi Kurdistan, they made that region the backyard of the IRGC. Qasem Soleimani was maneuvering, utilizing Iraqi Kurdistan as his base against Israel and its interests. And this guy, that's why I'm saying these people are chaos agents of the regime, because there's no consistency. If you are telling that, if you're carrying a vast support inside Iran, you don't go to a very suspicious space that their politician, there's no grassroots Kurdish support for Israelis, nothing. Their politicians are in bed with the IRGC. They are puppets of the IRGC. Barzani clown is a puppet, very long time puppet of the IRGC. So these are inconsistencies. This guy came up. And look, first they sent a woman saying, look, I'm Jewish. Everything I say from now on is right, is a fact, because I am Jewish. So I'm against Israel. No Jew supports Israel. All this. But IDF are our soldier, and IDF should not die for Iranians. So look at the inconsistencies. These people are chaos agents of the regime. These people are not real. They don't make any sense. And after this woman got destroyed in terms of arguments and debates by me and others, they sent another one. This one was different, saying, yes, I'm a Jew. I am pro-Israel, but I don't support Bibi. Everyone hates Bibi, and everyone hates the Shah. These are just not real. You have to listen. You do not debate with these people. These people come to these spaces as chaos agents in order to turn Israelis and Iranians against each other. They are on a mission. And you're allowing them you're giving platform to the chaos agents of the regime to turn on Israeli and Iranian patriots on each other. You are, in fact, you are playing into the hands of the regime. You're playing into the hands of the regime unwantedly. That is what I'm warning you about. Do not debate these people. Do not give them any platform. Look, there is war between us. We want to overthrow them. We do not debate with them. We do not debate with the ones who we want to eliminate. That is what I'm saying. All I'm saying. Thank you very much, Armin, for your beautiful space, your productive educational space. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate you being.
Is that okay to say
guys.
something short?
Warren, okay, yeah, I really have to go. We have been here for 3 hours.
Oh, sorry.
What is it? Okay,
I just want to say, next time, can you, when you have the debate, please talk about the dancing Israelis conspiracy theory, because.
Oh, you need to tell me that on Telegram. This is not the place, okay? So tell me on Telegram.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, guys. So I'm gonna end the show. Thank you, guys. But guys on YouTube, stay, because I'm gonna read the super chats. But to the people on X, I just want to say I'm Israel Chai and Javid Shah, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for being here. All right, and okay, guys, let's do the super chats. What do you guys think about this format, by the way? Do you prefer me? Maybe next. What do you guys think? Because let me know if you prefer this format or not. Let me see in the chat. Let me just read the super chats by Lord My God, your usernames again here. All right, so Hamas makes PKK attempts at embedding, infiltrating in civilian populations. Look at what? Amateurish. Oh, Hamas makes PKK attempts at embedding, infiltrating in civilian populations look amateurish. Hamas spent 15 plus years building into civilian population. True. And then you also say, per BBC, Turks killed 160 civilians in, I don't know where, in 2015 versus 40 PKK per, I don't know what news. Meanwhile, Gaza casualties look like between 2-1 or 1-1. Do the math. Yes. Yeah, the casual. Again, I'm not going to go based on the math. I'm going to go based on the attempts that the IDF has made, because there's so many different numbers being thrown around. And then anyways, I don't know what that means, but I know what the last part means, Javid Shah. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight these because I think you're just clarifying the previous super chats. It takes time to build vast, cohesive operation force. And then you say, take 13 long years to topple. Okay, take 13 long years to topple Assad, over 12 years. Communist regime in Afghanistan, 7 months to oust Gaddafi with NATO. It could vary in time and patience. Yes. Okay, and in Europe, it took some time to end the communism. Yes, it takes time. People are in a hurry, and I understand why. But revolutions sometimes take decades. Like, why aren't the people out yet? Like, as if like they don't, like, if you look at history, sometimes revolutions take a long time. Don't be discouraged. Iranians know how to proceed. Yes, thank you so much for that. Okay, guys, let me know what in the chat. Thank you for this live stream. John is saying that it's fun, but there was a lot of yelling and interrupting. True. Should we, guys, let me know if you want us to go back to the way that we just sat here together and we covered the news and we talked about it in the chat, or do you want me to do more X spaces? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, I know these super chats were was relevant to the topic at time, and I couldn't read them in time. Thank you for all those super chats; they're very helpful. I'm sorry I didn't read them right when I was supposed to read them. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about all of this. But guys, while I have you here, let me actually really quickly tell you that our community has grown significantly. So this is our World Liberty Battle Camp community, and we look the people are here. Let me actually drop a link to you guys here. I will give you a link to join to our community. This is where we're going to have discussions and live events where everybody, we could have our own live discussions and talk to each other. And the community is growing really a lot faster than I anticipated. So let me give you an invite link into this in the chat. Join this community. So if you can see that people are posting here their opinions and we have discussions here, but more importantly, if you check the calendar section, you can see that we have an event coming and very soon. Actually, if in the first page, you can see first live group meeting is happening in 47 hours. Guys, 47 hours to our first group meeting, and I post a link to our community in the chat. So join our community. You can see 56 people have already joined, and people are having discussions. Our community is called World Liberty Battle Camp. And here's the purpose of the community. It's we say here we learn how to fight for liberty against her main enemies, which is the woke right, the woke left, Islamic tyranny, and communism. And we have discussions here. And then our first meeting, our first ever group meeting, if you check the calendar and come check here, here's the description of our first meeting. This will be our first live group call for the World Liberty Battle Camp. Everyone's invited to join, talk, and share ideas. We'll discuss what kind of events, discussions, and projects we want to create next. This is your chance to help shape the direction of the battle camp from the ground up. So, guys, we basically created a community. It's a battle camp for liberty. So if you care about liberty and you want to share ideas, and oh, look, somebody else just joined, which I have to I'm going to let them in as soon as the live stream is over. But yeah, guys, we're basically getting trained. This is an area where we're trying to make where we train on the best ways to fight for liberty. And the events that we have is a way that you guys could, it's like a Zoom call. The events are like a Zoom call where everybody could open their mic and speak, and we basically come up with ways on, you guys decide how we build this community together. Okay, so join today. This is going to be fun. And again, our first meeting is going to happen in 47 hours. So please join, and join the meeting as well. So wait, Dictator in the chat is saying, Armin, what do you think is the greatest weakness of the IRGC? The greatest weakness of IRGC is internal fighting right now. After the Islamic Republic took their main leaders, there is right now a power vacuum within IRGC, and people within IRGC are backstabbing each other to fill in the power vacuum. So there's basically civil war right now within IRGC. So that's their greatest weakness. But guys, make sure you join this community, okay? We're growing it, and we're going to build it, and we're going to turn this into its own thing. World Liberty Battle Camp, okay? This is the beginning of something really great. So come join fast. And our first meeting, participate in our first meeting where everybody gets to tell us what they want this community to turn into, and what things they want to see in the community. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, guys. I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. See you guys on the next stream. Bye. Mwah.